get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Livewires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op, 100, live, and your host, K Mega 405. The GRG podcast
starts right now.
What's up, everybody? The GRG podcast is live. Welcome back to Mixer on GRG Live. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Damn sure couldn't do that on YouTube. They would have shut me down right then and there. Anyway, so, man, again, for the people who's come here to check us out live for the first time, what I wanted to say is, I will upload this and put this on YouTube tomorrow. But for tonight, or here coming up here for the future, is that what I'm doing is going to be putting the live show on Mixer. Like I said, just get a lot more freedom on just expressing the music. When I get some other things going, I can put those things in, so forth and so forth. And then we can also have, like, if people want to kind of express themselves a little bit more, they could do that too as well. But again, I'm already digging it. I love the response that we got last week, and hopefully it could just keep growing, and we could just do this and just keep this the home, and then just, kind of go back and forth with what we do in between here and what we do on YouTube as well. So anyway, without further ado, man, want to get to the panel. Before I do, I want to give a big shout out to my boy 108 Dragons. I mean, he's doing better. Can't wait for him to come back to the show. You know what I'm saying? But brother, man, get better, man. Get better, get better, get better. I know you're going through it, but we praying for you. Make sure that everything is going well, man. And yeah, hope you and your family's doing okay. So anyway, without that, let's go straight to my main man, 100. What's going on with you, bro? What's happening?
Man, just trying to see what I want to play, man. Got so many games because the Xbox ain't got no games.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my catalog, but no, just in here chilling after a boring day at work. I'm gonna sit back, and y'all gonna sit back and gonna get entertained like always. Let's go.
All right, cool. Now we're moving on to my main man, Op. You know what I'm saying? He has graduated from being the rookie to now being the junior. What's going on with you, Junior Op? Uh-oh. I wonder, do he have the same problem that Bloody had? I don't know. I'm looking at it. I see the mic. I see his mic off. We're going to see how long he's going to do it. How long he's going to be away. All right. That's too long. Anyway. All right. So anyway, now our rookie of the year for 2020. He's back. He came from his Animal Crossing hiatus. He told me he didn't feel good, but we already know Animal Crossing came out, so I know he was on that. Anyway, what's going on with you, PK? PK Live, what's up with you, fam?
Happy Friday, friends and family. Just glad to be here with all my homies.
No doubt. Man, I forgot. I have to try to change this to where I can make this to where it can be just on a podcast thing. See, if Bloody was here, he would have told me already. Anyway, yes, and then we're moving on to Op. You here now? I see you.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah. We was waiting on you to say something, bro.
I was still on the phone at that point. I had to hurry me finish.
Who you talking to? Your mama?
Hell no.
I was gonna say, you tell I said what's happening.
Hold on. One second. You know, that hiatus. GRG. Big ass field get taken, then try to step away back on the streets. Nah.
Hey, man, what you talking about, man? I'm just saying, man. I just said.
Take that big ass toe right back into that house, but keep off the streets.
Man, I was just saying, man, what's happening? Just tell I said what's happening. Anyway, what's up with you, man? What's up?
I just been chilling over here. Been playing Operation 3 a little bit with PK this week. The first day was rough. That shit, like no lie. Like damn near nothing was working at that point. Thankfully, it seems like the second or third day is smooth majority of everything out. So I can tell. So it's been running pretty clean right now. That's been pretty fun. The new mode they added, Gridiron, which is like capture flag / execution. Like I forgot the other game mode is like a escalation mix between both of those, but basically you get 1 life per round. You either can capture the flag, or have to hold it for long enough to run the timeout and get possession, or you can wipe out the whole entire team score. It's been like far as intensity, it's probably one of the most intense matches in years. I'm mad that is not an official rank playlist. It's back in social right now, which pisses me off because you get stuck with randoms at that point. You can play against pretty much anybody. There's no rank consistent for it. That's pretty much the biggest drawback from Operation 3 right now. But everything else I'm loving.
Hello.
Nice, 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 nice. Oh man, look at that right here. I got to before I go to my boy Slick, aka Six Slayer. I got to say this, man. Hey, my boy, you know what I'm saying? Yobi Heart, Dragon Heart Yobi. He says, aka Goat Mega, aka the reason the Series X exists, aka Spencer's secret advisor. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, my boy Phil. I have to talk to him and communicate with him. You know what I'm saying? Hit him up in them DMs, whatever. I'm just joking. But other than that, he says, aka the Don's Pappy, aka the savior of gaming, aka the legendary Mega, BKA the greatest human that ever lived. K motherfucking Mega. Hashtag suckers. I love it. I love it.
Wow, you got a new hype man, huh?
I got. Oh man, my bro, yo, be hooking me up, man. He be hooking me up. What I'm gonna do for my haters out there, because now I seem like I've just grown a new generation of them. I'm gonna use Yobi. I'm gonna get his voice, and we're gonna put that on there, man. We're gonna put that out there. My boy Yobi is the truth, man. Thank you so much, man. That's awesome. But anyway, what's up, Slick? What's happening with you, brother? What's going on?
Same old man. 108 Dragons representing since Lemon can't be here. You know, I'm definitely here. Take up this. It's not the same. It's not the same, but you know, we gotta represent somehow. But he's doing better slowly. I just spoke to him. But yeah, when he's back in shape, you'll hear from him soon.
So he's 108 Wheezing Dragon right now?
Yeah. he's a dragon without the fire right now. Yeah.
Man.
He just
he the puff, not the magic dragon.
Yeah, he's 108 Puff the Magic Dragon. That's what he is right now. But that's all right, man. Just get better so you can get out there and start throwing them flames at him. Look at him. He sit there and threw that salt. That's what
already.
I love it. I love it. Anyway, man. So Bloody said that he will be late. And Livewire, of course, is always late. You know what I'm saying? He never got no home training. But Bloody said he had some things that he had to take care of. And you know what? If the things are as serious as he was saying, then I don't think he's going to be really long-winded tonight. So when we hit our little topic, so I think maybe he's going to have to concentrate on other things. Talking about that porcelain. So you know what I'm saying. But anyway, all right. But wait till Bloody and our boy Livewire comes in here. But man, let's get to the first topic. And thank you guys for being here and joining us, man. Really do appreciate it. Anytime I'm trying to do something new, it's a little nerve. You get those little nerves, and you're kind of like, man, I hope it works out. But man, I've just really been loving the response, man. I really appreciate it. So, and also one thing I also wanted to add when I did the video, I hope I didn't mention this, but if anybody having a problem on Mixer when it comes to looking at the visuals and stuff like that, and it doesn't stream really well, there is an option where you could just go audio only, and you don't have to worry about your stream getting tore up or anything like that, or your bandwidth. You could just listen to the audio and then just go from there. So good thing about Mixer, it has a lot of options. So hopefully, if you guys having any issues like that, you can check out and just listen to us. Go from there. But all right, let's get to the first topic. And the first topic is about a game that I know one particular person that was being very anticipating this game and very excited for. And it looks like it ain't never coming out. And this game is called Star Citizen. I know that some people may have heard of it. I'm pretty sure maybe all of us has heard about it. But the reason why we haven't seen anything, and if you've been watching the show, you've seen me show a couple of trailers. Game looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks crazy. They got a big time actors in the game. It's a PC only game, but I wonder, because at the time when they showed the game off, it was definitely for high end, super high end PCs. No way that they could be on consoles. But I'm kind of wondering, and this is why I got to go to my panel about this. And I'm going to go to you first, Slick. Is first off, the main problem with this game is that it's really not so much of a problem, but it has a crazy budget. Now it went on like a crowdfunding, and it raised over its 7 years $275 million. Now, mind you, let me show you how staggering that is. That game that's $275. I mean, $275 million is it costs more than what Grand Theft Auto cost at 265. And at that time, it was Grand Theft Auto 5 was labeled the most expensive game of all time. Now this game has just got that in crowdfunding, which means people just been just throwing their money at this game for the last 7 to 10 years. And on top of that, they have secured another $17.5 million plus other little, and then they still continue to keep getting funding from other people. They're at 300 and some $1 million right now to this point, and they look like that this game is still not going to come. Look like they're just going through a lot of hell. The developers, they keep taking stuff in. They keep adding new things because the time. It's just the time restraints.
Hello, hello.
And on top of that, it's that the game is so old is that they got to replace some stuff. So I don't know, Slick. What does this sound to you, man? Is this smart for people to keep spending money towards this game? And it's 10 years in, and it looks like there's no way in sight that this game could ever come out anytime soon.
Yo, my name is not Captain Obvious, but I'm about to give you the straight up Captain Obvious answer. Yo, just give it up. Just give this game up. If you were hoping for this game, I feel sorry for you because I'm sure you put a lot of emotion into seeing this game and being like, oh, this game is going to be hot. It's nearly a decade ago. Over $300 million in crowdfunding. Yo, listen, I'd heard the name of this game before, but we were discussing this, in the pre-show, about what topics we were going to have. And other than the name, I didn't really know nothing about it. So I do my homework, and you saw what I was saying in the chat, 250 off of crowdfunding, and actually it was more than that. It was 275, you're saying?
275 in crowdfunding alone. Plus they got investors paying, and people are still paying. That's why it's over $300 million right now.
Yeah, and then it had drama with the Crytek and their engine, but because they decided maybe they were switching engines, but they had to disclose, whatever changes they made. That's a common open source thing. Like when you use open source, not that Crytek is open source, but it's the same idea. When you use some source code or engine or whatever changes and advancements that you make, you're supposed to you're supposed to give back, and there was lots of lawsuits over that. I did a lot of homework on this game, and it looks great and all, but after all this time, if you're really hoping for this game to come out, just give it up. Just wow, 300 million. How many times does this happen on way less money, on way less important games that haven't come out or did and completely flopped on release? Like, wow. I don't even have anything else to say on this. Is just ridiculous right here.
Yeah, man, it's pretty staggering. All right, what about you, PK? I don't know how familiar you are about this game, but I'm sure that you've heard the name before. And the older versions was very popular, so that's why a lot of people are jumping onto it and just can't wait for it. But man, I mean, if you were one of the people that was spending this money, would you be kind of nervous about this now, especially as much money as they accumulated? Are you there, PK?
They got him.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. So yeah, far as my understanding, yeah, if it was me, I would definitely be highly upset and nervous. And just doing a little bit of background, it looks like they also got private funding too. From a billionaire who put 10% into the company, and that's like he put 46 million. That put the company up to 500 million, and spent almost 200 million of U.S. money from 2012 to 2017.
Yes,
and that's just 5 years development. So when you think about that, and they're using an open source, so they base it out for Amazon's open source platform. So what is it that what is truly holding them back? Because they have whatever tools they're using, it looks like maybe there's some internal issues going on that is causing the delay for this game and not necessarily performance-wise. So I don't think this game is heading in the right direction. In other words, at the short end of the stick, because just looking at the track history, it's going to be another one of those. I can't remember the name of the game, but it was in development for 10 years, and then it finally launched on the original Xbox, and it was terrible. I don't remember the name of the game.
Human.
Too Human. There you go. I think it's going to be another Too Human, where it's going to eventually launch, and then it's going to be a disappointment if it should it do come out, right? And at this time and at this stage of development, I think they should have something playable for people that's been putting money into this for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, and that's another thing to it that right now, because of what's going on, it didn't really allude to it, but they said that the game is put on hold right now. So I mean, uh, 100 as a person that, well, let's say that you were excited about this, and I know that you definitely know somebody who's been talking about this game um, a lot. To be a person that maybe have put money into this game, and then you're hearing that after $300 million, they're putting everything on hold, and it's still going through development hell. How would you feel about that?
Eventually, I feel you feel mad, and especially when you put people be doing these crowdfundings. You got to understand you might you might get, what I'm saying, you might get scammed. It's just like, if you go on YouTube and you'll see a person saying, man, I can make you $100,000 in a day. You want to see this? And he's showing you cars that he don't own. That's what they showed us. They showed us a game that they made too many promises. Open world mission, you dictate this. They was acting like we were going into the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't blame everybody. I blame them, but then I also blame the people that keep on funding this game. Because every time they say they need money, as people go out there and run. And these are normal consumers that's doing it. I know they got some investors, but it'd be normal consumers that be doing it.
Yeah, I know.
And I think, and that's the craziest part. And it is like, wow, you got man, you got swindled. So I don't believe the game going to come out anything like it, what they claim is going to be, because you didn't make too many promises.
Bro, they have to make this game look
A game
at least somewhat to what the trailers look like.
And then we trying to come to we was talking about it, because we was talking about it the other day, because Inside Gaming was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I brung it up. We was in the party and I brung it up, and I said, you know what? Now since you got the PlayStation 5 and the X, what if they, wants to go put it on a console, because they can see how much money they can get. They can sucker somebody out of. Because I know out of that money, all that money is going somewhere. But see, they independent, so you can't ask for no papers.
Right, that's the thing. They are independent, and that was another thing. See, now the one thing that I was trying to, because it was a last minute decision to talk about it, but it was just the numbers were just so astronomical that I was just like, no, I got to talk about this because it's crazy to me. But when I was trying to research it, I was trying to see how big that studio is, because it doesn't sound like it's very big. I'm sure that they've expanded, especially with a budget like that, but I don't know, man.
It's crazy, but as gamers, they gonna have to stop accepting that mediocre stuff and don't. I mean, how many promises? Which Color was used to do that to Fable? Fable is a great game, good game, all the time. But old boy used to put so much. Oh, you're gonna be able to do this and do that, and got us so hyped. We ready for it, and then they don't even be that, and be mediocre. Because and it's not saying that the game was not good. It's just like you said, I can do all this. I can cast magic spells and
That expectation.
Right.
And yeah, you had them so high. That's why we telling gamers now, keep your expectations at a minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently they haven't learned from all the games that had these same mistakes like Fable.
Right, and that's the thing.
But Fable sold. Right. Yeah, Fable sold, but they Lionhead used to promise us stuff. They used to cash a check. that they used to carry the check that their ass couldn't cash, and they got us, and we kept on paying for it. Only thing that got super backlash, and I think that's why Lionhead got canned when they put that Halo garbage they pull out. I mean that Fable Legends, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it was and it was just it wasn't good. It was just dog shit.
I don't
And
know.
so
I didn't think the game was
I didn't like it.
bad.
The graphics looked good, but
Mm-hmm.
I understand, like, you keep on promising this game. It actually, you know what? Was that game out before? That game was Evolved, and them took that gameplay. Even the new the new mode in
Predator.
the Resident Evil remake doing it.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like the former couldn't work, but you promised us something different. Then you gave us the one for the Kinect that wasn't unresponsive. Then you made, at the time, he was still there at Lionhead. You gonna show me Milo. So people start getting, you made this promise. It said no. I'm like, And that's why I think Fable Legends, because people wanted the traditional Fable. You could have did something of somebody else. You're not the only person that was a king in the world. It was other kings and stuff like that. People was disappointed in 3. I was kind of disappointed in 3 because of the ending, because some things you promised people that you couldn't promise, and you got to do that. It was kind of cool, but it didn't feel. It felt like that Fable was rushed.
Okay.
But,
all right. But
that's
back to the
Star
game.
Citizen. Yeah. So the Star Citizen want to do that and get over on people, and people gonna let them do it. I can't get mad at them. Take their money.
Damn. Yeah, just like that, huh? You just saying it's just on them. Those people just being. I don't know, man. I do agree.
Think about
Called
it,
capitalism, buddy.
Yeah,
but
capitalism.
more people need to talk about it. Like, I only see certain YouTube channels talking about it. You don't see the IGNs. You don't see the Eurogamers, the Takakos, whatever they call. You don't see none of them. But you'll see the small ones. You'll see us talking about it.
Actually, Kotaku did talk about it. In fact, earlier when I was saying I did my homework, they did a whole 5-part article, but only about the drama situation. If there was no drama about this game, it would have been released with no hype out of them, and they would have paid this game no mind. But now there's a bunch of drama with this game. They had a whole 5-part article, just to describe the whole situation. So
Yeah,
that's Kotaku for you.
Yeah, but I mean, but a lot of people think about it. YouTube is bigger than Kotaku. You sit there and they had somebody, because I know they having somebody sitting there making videos for them, stuff like that. Sometimes now these days this is more visual when you see somebody's talking about it and you see it with passion, than when you just write an article and nobody like, I'm not going over there, because I wouldn't go over there.
But they do write a lot of clickbait drama articles.
they do. They definitely do. They definitely do. Somebody asked me a question about PSO2. Yes, I'm a level right now. I'm a level 30 with my new main. And another character I am at like a level 26. I would have been way higher than that, but then I wanted to make another character because I was trying to run with Bloody in them. And so I
Not
just kind of.
PK.
Oh yeah, you was in there that night. Yeah, okay. It was PK and Bloody, and we all was jumping on them, and so I just made a random character and just jumped in there, and so I didn't like that character. I just picked him because I just wanted to run with everybody. So I made my own character in ship 2, and then I also had a main character on ship 1. But I fell in love with my second character, well, my third character I made in ship 2, and that's who I'm running with. So I'm a level 30 something, and then I'm a level 20 something, and then I'm a level like 30 for somebody else. But yeah, anytime that you see me on, man, you can hit me up and we can run something. You know what I'm saying? Because I like playing with my group of people.
I
All my
need help.
characters are called Anime Hunter. So if people be looking at me
I need
funny,
help.
that's funny. You need help?
I need
Yeah,
help.
if you need help 100, I'm
I
on ship
need
1.
help.
I got you, homie.
Oh
I
yeah,
got, got
yeah, you come on in there.
Cause I
I'm
got
max
nothing, but I
level.
got like a little ranger, little gunner dude. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Hey,
what I got too.
that's
Definitely.
my
So
main class.
it's
That's
over
my
with.
main
My
class.
class, I'm a hunter. Man, that class is dope, man. boy. Anyway, so we can talk about PSO some other time. But yeah, I just wanted to make that point. But yeah, 100. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, that's all I had to say.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Op, what was your thoughts about the whole situation with Star Citizen, man?
Yo, man, this whole thing is crazy right now because I forgot the official role, or I guess this person in a game development studio. I forgot the name of it, but like it's someone who's supposed to keep, I guess the creative department of the developers in check, within bounds of reality at this point with what they can do for the game and what's possible, what's plausible going forward as far as making a game. And right now, whoever that is that makes Star Citizen, he's failing like a motherfucker right now. They pushed past 300 million at this point. Me personally, I get it. We're quote unquote independent. Not, as far as I can tell, they're not an official developer. Just like don't read all the much details behind it, but like I would imagine they don't have all the necessary tools or the experience not qualified, but regular developers in the industry would have. So it will take them longer to develop it, but at the same time, how much money has been sunk into this game and the amount of time it's taking right now seems a little too inflated, the game right now. To be honest, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's a big ass game. We just saw made that in like 5 or so years, I believe, because I know they made that in like Origins around the same time. So this game's gonna be bigger than that. That's just like overkill at this point. We're really talking about what was that movie that came out 2 years ago? Ready Player One type of shit. Like there's a VR world, like people just live and spend their entire lives. Like,
yeah.
We thought World of Warcraft back then was like something crazy. This might take it to another level, and it might be insane what they were trying to do. But like,
now I remember this game. As soon as you said that you can live your whole life. Yeah, now I remember this game. Yeah, wow. Now I remember all the hype. Oh, yeah. That's why I didn't remember anything else about it, because I immediately ignored that once I heard all this hype. I've been there, done that, man. Like if it happens, it happens, and I'd love to see it because everything about it, that's my wheelhouse. But no, been there, done that. Not to interrupt you, but
no, you good. You should add to the conversation. But yeah, this game seems like too much for me personally. There's a lot of people who are really behind it, like faithfully devoted to it. Like it's just not my thing. I really lose more interest the more I figure out that still development hasn't released yet. Even when it does get released, I'm just gonna watch people play because I have no interest in this game at all. It's too damn big for me at this point. It seems too grandiose for what they're trying to achieve.
Hey, the junior over here. What? Say that again. Say that word again.
Listen, you heard this word before.
I know. I heard it before, but I'm just saying, like, maybe there's other people out here, that like Christopher Hart that's in here. Maybe he haven't heard that word before.
Oh shit! Don't do that like that.
Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, this game seems like too much. I would like for him to hurt and finish it, but like rushing a game to finish it never helps anyone in the end. Like the game really just seems like too damn much. Like we really thought Kojima having no limits would be bad. Like a massive financial hole for whoever he's working under. Right now, if they didn't have the funding from like their fans and private funding, the game would not exist. Like this game has to be a massive success, like the biggest game on the planet, for them to be able to justify the amount of money they suck into it. It's like this is what 7 years, over 300 million at this point.
Yeah. It
has to be a rock of success. It has to be. It has to shut down the internet across the globe. Come back up next day, they shut it down again, just to justify the amount of time they put into it. Like it's just
right. Like it's crazy. Like they've been working on it for so long, and that's what it trips me out. It's like, okay, at some point you're gonna have to bring this game out, and as you said, it's so massive and ambitious that it's going to disappoint somebody. And
yeah,
that's what 100 was alluding to. Like it's going to disappoint somebody when if the game ever eventually drops, it's going to be disappointing to somebody, and then that's going to trickle down because you know how a lot of people are on social media. Once somebody starts dogpiling on it, starts talking bad about it, then it's the dog pile. Just the rat pack comes, and so therefore they just jump on it, and then you're going to have a negative effect over a game that is really ambitious. Now, I admire them that were trying to work on this type of game, but damn, you got all the funding that you could possibly get. There shouldn't be no more money. You should stop it right then and there. Them people are eating large right now. They living good, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, they living real good right now.
Just imagine how big this game's gonna be. Either gonna stream off a cloud, you gotta download it. The bitch could probably be like a terabyte big by the time it's done.
Oh yeah. Oh
And then
hell
on
yeah.
top of all that, they gotta earn back all this money. So the
Right.
deal, what's the
Red
term?
Dead Redemption did like what 15, 17 million was like the first month, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
They got double that.
They were asking for $2 million, and look what they're at now. In
Right.
2013, they were asking for $2 million because they started working on the game 10 years ago. But when they got to them, they seen that they hit a wall, and so then that's when they did the crowdfunding shit, and then voila, like wow.
But if you think, loot boxes and shark cards and all this other stuff that we've been seeing in the past couple of years was a problem, this game is gonna have to have all of that and even some new stuff we haven't even imagined yet because they gotta pay back a lot of people who put in a lot of money. And I don't mean these crowdfunding folks because they don't owe them jack shit from the back because that's just how that works. But all these
product funds, they
gotta get their money. They gotta get their money first.
I don't. Yeah, that's what they say, but sometimes, especially in the PC realm, that's why I didn't want it to come to the console space, is because they get out of it. A lot of times they get out of it. I mean, and you just think about this for a second. I mean, um, you're just a person that just wants to have a game and you read about it, you enjoy, you may have had a couple of conversations with a couple of the devs, things like that, and then you get in there and you just spend your hard-earned chips on this, and then by the time it's this big multi-million dollar company that has a lot of lawyers and things like that, and so if you're going to say, well, I'm going to sue you, if you ain't got the lawyers to pay to try to get this money, then you asked out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, it is unfortunate. I know that there's clause and things like that, and then they could sit here and they could pay you anytime that they want to within that. Let's say that you do win a judgment. If you got the lawyer and stuff like that, they'll get their money. But if you're just somebody that's just waiting for somebody to pay, they could take a long time, and then they could throw bankruptcy in, and they still can go get to another studio and start making games for somebody else. I mean, it's dangerous in my opinion. It's very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. All right. Well, then, okay. You was done, Op?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, Livewire, I see you in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? The King. Hey guys, let the Dolphins come out. AKA the Dolphin King is here. Livewire, AKA the Dolphin King is here. So what's going on with you, bro? What is your thoughts about the whole Star Citizen situation where they have so much money poured into that game? Do you think that game will ever come out?
You know what? I don't know, man. It just might be one of them things that just trapped in limbo and just can't ever make any progress or any real push towards getting out. So who knows? But yeah, that's all I got, man.
You just don't care. All right, you want to get into the nitty gritty. We'll get into it. All right. Yes, and Livewire, how tall are you again?
6'6".
6'6". I thought you was like 6'8".
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you
I mean, when you're wearing heels, he's 6'8", but
Oh, when he wear, okay, right. Yes, okay. So the Dolphin King is 6'8" when he's wearing heels, or if he's wearing Bloody's boots. So that's probably about right. How tall is Bloody? About what?
4 feet tall.
No, he's taller than 4. He's about 5'1", 5'2", something.
5'1", 5'2".
Yeah. With the boots, he's probably like 5'3", 5'5".
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, all right, man. Shout out to my boy Lemetheus from the Zeus that just disappeared. Oh, that's exactly what he is right there. Anyway, all right, so let's get to the next topic, man. That's pretty wild to me, man. I can't believe that much money has been spent into a damn game. Listen, that is crazy. That is damn crazy for sure. So, all right, let's get to it. Phil Spencer's interview. I just got finished watching it because this is the thing. I know everybody watched it well beforehand, but this is the problem with me. I get into start playing other games and start talking about other stuff. Then I catch myself forgetting certain things. So so when it comes to these type of like interviews and shows or whatever, I kind of like to watch them right before the show so I can get all of the good nuggets and know and remember everything that was said. So for me, I just watched it. I know everybody else has watched it before me, but I'm going to go to our boy PK. Boy, PK, did you get to see the Phil Spencer interview?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so what was your thoughts about it, man? I mean, you give us the good and the bad about it. Was there anything that caught you off guard a little bit, or was there some things that maybe sound a little disappointing?
Um, no, I felt like maybe the IGN guy was trying to set up some loaded questions, and I think he did a good job on kind of answering. Like when he asked him about how he felt about the Xbox being more powerful, or will it launch on time, and things like that. I think he did a good job on the PR side and making sure people stay excited about the console coming. I also think, you know, obviously taking our situation seriously, we also understand that we're also looking for uh, something to look forward to. So this console is not just a console for many of us; it's also a start of something new or a relief to all the stuff that we're going through at this moment in time. So seeing him talk about it confidently and looking at the fact that I would say he positioned the Xbox brand in a way where they're kind of in their own bubble, and he's not necessarily affected by the quote unquote competition, and it shows.
Mhm.
And it seems like the opposite effect is happening on the competition side. But I think overall he did a great job. I hope he gets a better mic for since he is head of Xbox, so it won't sound kind of grimy over online.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
other than that, that was good.
Okay. All right. So was it I have to ask you, man. I mean, because I don't know if you was a. I think you were. I think you was in the same boat as me as when you saw the stuff about Scalebound. And when he was asked about it in his response, what did you feel about that?
Well, like I said, I think it's more or less um, just being as surface as possible. We know that there's always more going on behind the closed doors than what is being said due to non-disclosure agreements. So
Hmm.
I take it as he's not trying to uh, throw salt and shade, but we also see he had to make they had to make a business decision. So and at the end of the day, we understand that that business decision is due to a lack of something that wasn't provided on one way or another.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Livewire. I'm gonna go to you. I'm sure that you watched the interview too. What was the things that you took away that was really positive, and give me the things that you thought that may have threw you off that maybe you didn't like. If there was anything, and just break it down for us. Let us know what you thought about the interview.
I mean, I thought the interview was cool. He pretty much just reiterated most of the stuff that we already kind of knew. And that they've been saying, but it's like with Microsoft, they got to say everything like more than once. People don't believe them for whatever reason.
Right.
So it is what it is. Um, what was the main thing that I liked? I liked that. I watched both the what was it? He had the interview, and then he kind of had the panel discussion. Was it today? I think it was today, right?
Oh, I didn't see the panel discussion. I just seen the interview.
Yeah, it was like the console thing.
Hmm.
I learned. I think I learned more from that. I mean, everybody from the interview pretty much takes away the whole where he's like, "Oh, I feel good about where Xbox is kind of based off of what he saw PlayStation was doing." So he was like, "Oh, kind of feel like we're in the right space." But but today show, he kind of talked about how like the process was that they'd been planning this console for a while. So and they more or less used the Xbox One X to kind of gauge a lot of the stuff that they were implementing or planning to implement in the Series X, so that they wouldn't have to go through this transition period in the Series X. it would just be like, y'all got everything, with the whole back compat, upgraded games from previous generations, all that stuff. So I mean that stuff I like to hear. And it's not, and to me it just, he just was basically clarifying to people saying, look, we didn't just trying to kill this whole narrative that Xbox just threw a bunch of powerful pieces in a box, which is just asinine because they didn't do that for the 360, and they didn't do it for the Xbox One or the One X or the S. So it's like, why would they just all of a sudden just be like, yeah, we're gonna just throw a bunch of PC parts in a box and do strength stuff? Number one, they got some of the best engineers in the world. Why the hell would they do some nonsense like that? Like, they know it's a console and it's not a PC. I mean, like, I think some of these guys, they really around the whole PlayStation being less powerful thing got emotional into their feelings. So for him to come out and kind of, basically say, nah, we got this, we know what we doing, and basically say, hardware is more powerful, it's faster. Now let's talk. Now the next couple of things we show is going to be all about games. And matter of fact, we got, once things get back in order, we're gonna be talking about games throughout because we just got nothing but games to talk about. That's good. I
Hey,
mean, granted,
Livewire,
yeah,
did you see when he talked about that there's going to be a whole lot of games at one time?
yeah. I saw. Well, I saw the part where you said that. I know he's saying that at launch, he wasn't trying to drown people in games, trying to make sure that there are a lot of games out, but not necessarily. You're not gonna have like Halo and Gears and Forza and Fable. You're not gonna have all the heavy hitters coming out at the same time. Those will be spread out, but you might have a Halo with a couple of smaller titles around it, stuff like that. So there's always gonna be content, but it's no different than what you would see with like a lot of these services that we get today, like Disney Plus and Netflix or whatnot. Like this is the whole narrative that I think is completely asinine that people go. Xbox just wants to put games in there for fodder for Game Pass. Don't nobody want to play shit games. Don't nobody. So guess what? You can put 100 shitty games in a fucking service. If they shitty games, nobody gives a shit. That's why PlayStation Now ain't popping yet. Because those games is
Oh,
old as fuck,
Uh-oh.
dog.
There we go. The first shot. I was waiting till the next topic, but that's okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm dead serious. Like I was looking at PlayStation Now, and granted, they do have some old classics that are decent, but they're all streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't
But
hold
they
the. Yeah, they're not graphically. They don't hold up as well because they don't put because they're using the legacy.
exactly.
Yeah, that's yeah that it, yeah. There's no enhancements whatsoever, which is sad. Which is sad
Yeah, I
because
mean,
I
and
bought
it's
like
not,
about
and it's
five games from them, and
and altogether, it's not a terrible service, but the
it's a
thing you
lot
learn,
better. It's a lot better because I was away from it from a long time, and then I recently because somebody was saying no, it's a lot better now, and then it was right after the whole God of War thing during like in December, and I jumped on and played a little bit on the PC, and I'm like, oh, this shit is a lot better. It's a lot better.
yeah, no, no, it's
Than,
Now
better
that you
than what
can
it is.
download, yeah.
right now that you can download, yeah, it's a lot better.
But I gotta look at it like this. I was sitting there looking at, oh man, might want to play this game, that game. But one, with Xbox Ultimate, I get Game Pass, I get games with gold. You have to buy those shit separate for PlayStation. So you're really paying, like, if you buy PlayStation now, that's $60 for the year, and then you buy PlayStation Plus, that's another $60 for the year. So, you know what I mean? That's not a great savings to me, you know. I mean, I don't know. Look, man, we just got a long way to go with PlayStation until they really put some stuff in there. Uh, to really push that ahead. But you know, to me, like I said with Phil, nothing is by accident. Everything was done purposely. They made a lot of mistakes. He explained what those mistakes were. He knew what those mistakes were. He wasn't sitting there saying, oh, we know that, we think we did just as good as PlayStation. Obviously not. They know the games weren't on the same, standard as far as like the AAA. They didn't have as many of them, right? You could say double A's. To be honest, the double A and the lower tier games, Xbox had a lot better games than PlayStation. Because I don't play JRPG, so I don't even consider, like, I don't count personas and all that other stuff. But I mean, I guess to those who like it. But I'm talking about, for me, those mid tier games, Xbox had the better versions though. But the AAA, there's no debate. After Halo, Gears, and Forza, I mean, those only 3 games. PlayStation had like what, 8? So 3 franchises versus 8. I mean, look, man, it is what it is. They were better in that aspect, But again, he realizes that, he's trying to rectify that, and he knows the only way you're going to keep people playing on your services is getting the content. Now, the hardware, where people get shit fucked up, and I'm gonna tell you, they get shit fucked up is, bro, when you buy hardware, the hardware you buy based off the features it provides. That's what any device that you buy, unless you just a motherfucker to just buy shit randomly, right? When you buy a TV, I'm assuming that you want the TV that you bought to look better than the one you got.
Oh
I'm
yeah, no
assuming when you
doubt.
buy a
No doubt
computer,
about that. No doubt
you
about
buy a
that.
computer
Yeah.
that can do more than the one you have. Even though you expect the computer that you bought to still be able to do the shit that you were previously doing, right? That's the same thing. Uh, it boggles my mind, K-Man, when I hear motherfuckers say, "Why would I buy hardware that's just better than the shit I got?" The fuck, my nigga? What are you talking about? That's what everybody does. When you buy a car, motherfuckers rent cars, right? And you trade that shit in. Why are you trading it in? You traded in for the worst version of what you got? No. You traded it for some better shit. That's why we do it. We want better shit. Like, nobody says, yo, let me get I'm trying to even think. What's a good analogy? Let me get a Nissan. Let's go like the average man. Let me get a Nissan Maxima, and then be like, you know what? I'm gonna trade that shit in for a Nissan, a Corolla or some shit. Do they even make Corollas anymore? I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, they still make the Corolla.
All right, well, Nissan Corolla. Nobody does. Or actually, Corolla. I think that's Toyota.
Yeah, I was gonna
Whatever.
say the
Some
Corolla is.
lower
I didn't
grade
know it was a
shit.
Nissan. I thought it was a Toyota Corolla. Yeah, no, no.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Some
I
lower
was just
grade.
I was just letting you roll with it. You in the zone.
I'm just saying, man. The shit that these guys, they don't make any. Bro. Yo, the shit is crazy. They act like the only people that buy new shit are PC guys. Well, if you want just better shit than the shit you already got, why don't you just go to PC? Huh? The fuck? I think I buy new shoes. That don't mean the shoes I'm wearing is beat. It just means I want some new shit. The fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just think that these guys are getting their feelings because, best believe, if the roles were reversed, they wouldn't be saying none of this dumb shit they talking about. Well, why would you want a PlayStation when you could already play the games on? They'd be like, no, you gotta get the best PlayStation. That other PlayStation's dog shit now. Yeah, y'all gotta calm down with that shit. Same thing with the Nintendo dudes too. Let's be honest. These dudes talking about power don't matter, but that's only because the Switch, whatever, that shit weak as hell. Let's keep it a buck, you know.
Yeah,
And they
Nintendo dudes sound like some reverse Apple dudes. I swear to God.
because be honest, what they talk about is, well, people only buy a Nintendo Switch because of the games. No, motherfucker, they buy it because of the portability. The games are good. Don't get me wrong. But the real reason why people buy it is because of the portability. There's no other console that can do what it does. Even if it's a lower grade than what you have, there's nothing else that can do it.
Give me
There's
my
no cell
PlayStation
phone that matches
controller.
that. Cell phone screen is way too small to really. You know what I mean, you put your cell phone up to even the Note, it's smaller than what the Nintendo screen is. It just is, man. You know, so because everybody who buys a Switch ain't playing Mario, or there's a lot of dudes that just out there rocking with multi-plats. They don't buy a ton of them. But bro, you ain't selling. What is it? They got 50. Some odd. How many consoles they
I
selling?
don't know. Well, hold on, live. I have to say on this one, I have to disagree with you on that point. When people buy Nintendo products, they are buying it for their exclusives. That's the one
Yeah,
console that's
but
the one console that actually has the actual right to say something about their exclusives.
Mario's not selling.
Sony
But
fans
Mario,
or Xbox fans cannot open their mouth and say anything about exclusives at that point.
they
When you see the top 10 through both consoles, you see it's always Call of Duty.
Nintendo.
It's always third. It's always third.
Nintendo's
Yeah, third party.
usually
yeah, no. They
Nintendo's
have,
top 10 is always exclusives
yes,
with
but
with a few multiplats.
they have the oldest group of gamers, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that.
they
I wouldn't
do
say
have
that.
they have
They
a
got
older.
the
mixed
oldest
bag.
and the
They
youngest. Yes,
bro,
they
they
do.
have, yes,
They
yes,
have
they
a
do
mixed
because
bag.
a
So
lot
so
of people.
you think they got the oldest? Okay, all right.
Yes, they got the older.
Okay.
Like when people think about it, a lot of times people.
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Live went away. Now we went from talking to Phil about Phil Spencer. Then we went and we veered
Y'all
into
went
the
all the
switch.
way left.
You know what I'm saying? My boy
No.
Live. I was just letting him ride. I was letting him ride. Okay, you back
Yeah,
live?
but
You
no,
back?
no, no. But
Let
what
Okay,
me
I'm
go ahead.
saying,
Go ahead. Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying,
Because I know it's gonna rear back to the main point.
what I'm
But go
saying,
ahead.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is,
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that the exclusives on the Switch don't sell. Come on, bro. We all
No,
know they
I got
do.
what you're saying. Right. Yeah. Okay.
But even for Nintendo,
hmm
they have a cap off. So they're not selling 50 million Marios. They not.
Well,
They might sell 20,
that's
but they're
still
not
a
selling.
lot. That's
I'm not
still a
saying
lot.
what I'm saying is not everybody's buying the Switch just to play Mario. There's still over 20 million people buying the Switch for some other shit other than their big IPs with whether Zelda or Mario. Those shits cap off. Just like they cap off higher than what a PlayStation or an Xbox exclusive would be at this point. Granted, that's what Nintendo's a legacy console. You know what I mean? So again, they got the oldest and the youngest. The middle is kind of where it's like a little foggy, but really it's with the oldest and the youngest. Everybody else is buying some other shit. It's portability, I'm telling you. Because if the Nintendo Switch was just some box that was in your house, that
Yeah,
shit would
it would have
sell
flopped
like the
already. Yep.
Wii U. So people talking about, oh no, it's about the exclusives, motherfucker. Those are the same exclusives they had on the Wii U. What the fuck are you talking about?
Very
Talking some dumb
literally,
shit right
very
now.
literally, they re-released them to get back that money they never made on
That's
the
what I'm
Wii U.
saying.
Right.
Like people,
Right.
acting like we didn't see all these games before, bro. These are the same games. They just reselling to you on the Switch.
But live, where is this coming from? That's going to revert back to the Phil Spencer.
But I got sidetracked on a tangent. No,
I was
because
wondering because I was
no,
like,
because
what's going
what
on? What's
I
going on?
was
All
saying
right, all right,
something else,
all
and
right. Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
I was just basically talking about Nintendo, and
And
somebody
then you start. Okay.
interjected and
Uh huh.
then sidetracked me over here.
Okay.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is the main thing is Xbox is trying to improve their shit. They're not going to make the same mistakes that they did before. That's just asinine. Um, and the other thing is you can't compare the PS3 to the Xbox One. I know a lot of people try to do that shit and be like, well, Sony did this to fix this shit. Well, guess what? The difference is Sony had studios already. Xbox did not. They bought studios. There's a big difference between having studios and then just building games versus having an issue and then buying studios. Because the difference is one was already had games in the pipeline. The other was putting teams together to develop games. It's two different things.
All right,
I'm
cool.
done.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. You know what? You know what I'm saying? Because Live don't ever really get his time. You know what I'm saying? And so
Indeed. Let him speak.
I'm just letting him speak. I'm letting my boy talk. Live. You got anything else you want to say? You got anything else? Because I do want you to have your time. So you got anything you want to say? Because 100 ain't said nothing. Nobody ain't said nothing. It's your time right now. Go ahead and say something. Because when we get to the last topic, we probably going to act a fool here, and I know I'm going to have my moment. So.
Oh man, what's up? All right, you know what? No, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I think I did say what I need to say.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you, FaZe, for the, and thank you because I know she said her name. I know it says Lala Baby 30, but I know she said it was something
Alethea.
else at the top.
Alethea.
Alethea. Thank you, Alethea, and thank you, FaZe, for the follow, and thank you everybody else for the follow. Man, appreciate it. I'm 8 away from 400. Thank you. Thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So, thank you. So all right, so that leaves you. Let me go to Slick. What's going on, Slick? What was your thoughts about Phil Spencer? What he said? Give me everything that you thought that was positive, and then the things that you may have thought that was negative.
You know, I watched this interview and I kept thinking to myself, yo, here's a keyboard cowboy now has to face the man he hasn't spoken to in a while, and now he has to act different. Now he has to act like he has some sense. He has to speak with clarity and perspicacity, another big word for the night, okay?
Woo! Say that again. Hold on, wait.
Perspicacity.
Oh, I don't even think that's not even nowhere in my vocabulary. So,
computer, please define perspicacity.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
Segmental perception and understanding, discernment, penetration.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Well then,
okay, all right.
Okay, now that you understand, he's a man of understanding. He understood his situation as he spoke to Mr. Spencer. Okay, and he tried to get him to answer a couple of questions, but that's the typical journalist thing, So the interview was a great interview on both parts of the equation, the interviewer and the interviewee. Okay, now then. I took a lot out of this interview, but one of the most important things I realized from this interview is he is confident. Phil Spencer is very confident. And we've said this before, but more than ever, he is super confident. He is confident in all aspects. Even with this situation now with the virus and all this going on, he's even confident on production of systems. Why? Because China is coming back online in terms of that. And it's been on the news. Just like he said, it has been on the news, So in terms of hardware being built, and besides they have those factories in Mexico where I think they do the final assembly. And I'm pretty sure the SoCs are being produced right now. I was speaking to someone else on the situation, was it yesterday? Yeah, pretty sure these chips are being produced right now. So, yeah. And then, next thing about that was the pricing of the consoles. Now, you've heard me flip-flop on my opinions on that from week to week, depending on what I hear.
But everybody else has done it too, so yeah, it's not like, go ahead.
Right. But with this interview, now I feel more confident on the price of $499 because the way he continually speaks with confidence that the pricing will be at very least, except I don't want to quote the man because I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically he's confident that the pricing of the console.
He said they were going to be they can be flexible.
So that also means he has the support of Satya Nadella, and I forget the young lady's name that he also answers to. If anybody in the chat could remember, but. Which means to me, if they have to take a little bit more of a loss on the console because Sony decides, that they want to be brave too with their pricing, apparently it's looking to me, this is just my interpretation of it, that Microsoft is going to be able to match their pricing, to keep that balance that they're trying to get, either to equal the price of $499 or if Sony was to go higher, they could go lower and, and look good altogether. So this interview just, most things we already knew, like Scalebound, we got to beat that dead horse over and over and over. But that's, that's the interviewer.
Oh, that broke my heart. Yeah,
but-
Don. We were streaming playing Halo 5 the other day, and Don was talking about it. He was like, "It was a really great interview." He says, "But Mega, I'm sorry," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm sorry about?" Because he was like, "Hey, prepare for yourself because this is what's going on," and I'm like, well, what are you talking about?" And then, Scalebound.
But bruh, we've known this for how long now? Like, you needed him to say it again?
Yes, I needed him to say it again. But you know what? I seen a glimmer in his eye of disappointment.
Yes.
And I know I said glimmer of disappointment, but this is what I seen. I seen the frustration in his eye, right? Because he knows that game would have been fire. Dayline fire. Dayline fire, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the thing to me is that I don't think it's dead. I'm not giving up hope.
Nah, what I see from that is he knows how much it hurt that they had to cancel this game and how it's a continuing narrative still. It just won't stay dead. It's like a goddamn zombie getting smashed the head.
I agree.
Burn it down,
I agree.
And another thing, we talking about bad things that happen with Xbox. He's very knowledgeable on the past history, the past mistakes, and he has learned from them. And this is a theory I've had for a long time. I think the failures with the Xbox One this generation is the best thing that could have ever happened to Xbox. Because once again, Sony, this is another theory I've had for even longer. Okay, Sony has only ever been successful when their competition is slacking and lacking. When their competition is not able to produce, they are successful, right? And I'm not saying Sony didn't do what they had to do this generation, but their competition was slacking and lacking, and they were easily able to do the obvious moves to win, right? And so it's like the saying goes, you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And how many lessons have we, as Xbox fans and Microsoft, have learned? And we see the lessons they've learned. How, when Ryan asked the question about, software for launch, if they're going to have enough, he learned the lesson of not having a flood of content at launch. Because the Xbox One launch, you can say everything else about the system and all the drama surrounding it. It had an excellent launch. It had one of the best launches in terms of software of any console ever in history. When you look at what it had for the time compared to any system, let alone a Sony system, which is usually bad for that. Okay,
except for Dreamcast.
Except for Dreamcast. That's why I said one of the best.
Hold on. Hold that thought. Now, you know what? I normally don't do this.
Oh boy.
I normally don't do this because I know when Christopher Hart comes in here, he wants to show his love for PlayStation, which he has every right to. I have no problem with PlayStation fans coming into GRG and talking about how much they admire PlayStation, because I'm a PlayStation owner and a fan as well, and I'm pretty sure mostly everybody on the panel is too. This is the thing, though. When you come on to the show, unlike maybe some other shows you get to, you can't throw the spin. You can. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. Oh, Don with the clown. Oh, my God, Don. Look at you, disrespectful. All right, so anyway, you can't come in here doing the spin without the facts. And so, you know what I'm saying? And you know what? If Lemon was here, Lemon would say something. And so, therefore, in the spirit of my boy Lemetheus from the Zeus, I have to hit you with this, right? So you said that the Apex VR game that came out, which looks absolutely amazing, looks fantastic. It came out and it outsold the Kinect, right? Now, I'm looking at the numbers right now. 149,000 sold. Kinect, 30 plus million sold. Let me make this point. Let me make this point to you, right? Let me make this point to you one more time, okay? Apex Legend. Half-Life. What is it? Alux? Whatever. How do you pronounce
Alex.
that? Alex. Yeah, Half-Life Alyx sold approximately, and I'm going to round it off for you to make it look better. 160 million. 160, I mean, I'm sorry, 160,000 copies. 160,000 copies. Let me say that again. I'm rounding it off. It's not even an actual number. I'm giving more than what it actually is. I'm giving it more by rounding it off. 160,000 copies, and the Kinect sold over 30 million plus. Okay. Go ahead, Slick. I just wanted to make that point.
I lost my train of thought anyway.
I'm sorry.
It's not exactly your. Well, actually, it is your fault. But I would have.
I know it's my fault
anyway, even if you took 2 seconds. That's just me. So, can you remind me where I was?
Okay. So I got to do that because I was reading the chat. But no, I cannot remind you. Anybody? Can anybody?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Can anybody else? I'm sorry. I'm a horrible host. I'm a horrible host.
Oh man, you had to get at him, man.
Just start over.
Well, basically, what I was saying. Oh yeah, about the lessons learned. Yes. So, lessons learned many times over, and about the launch software. Yes, and who was that? Who said that about the Dreamcast?
Oh, that was PK.
PK. This is why I chose my words very specifically. I said one of the best launches, not the single best.
Okay.
Because definitely the Dreamcast agreed fully. The Dreamcast had better launch. It had probably the best launch of all time. If I actually had to think about it, it's definitely one of the top.
In America, yes.
In America, is probably one of the top 2 or 3 that I could even consider. But anyway, so. The question was asked, if the software would be there when the software is ready. And you know why he can say that? Because we have a whole backlog of games that will be compatible day one, and oftentimes in superior form than you've ever been able to play them before on the Series X from day one. So if Halo isn't ready at launch day for whatever reason with this virus, lots of other games are getting passes on that. I would expect, Halo would get the same, just putting that out there. But we'll get into detail about that a little later.
Right.
The Xbox will have software to play, new software, older software. All that is new in your eyes. With that auto HDR and all these other features that they have. So everything from this interview just gives me more and more confidence that the day when I get my Xbox, I'll be very happy. I'll have lots to play, lots to enjoy. I won't have to sit there and be looking online, to be a keyboard warrior and, argue with people who's on the opposite side. Because you know what? I'm getting that other system, and we'll talk about that a little later as well, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, this interview gave me nothing but confidence in all aspects because the software is going to be right. The hardware is going to be right. The network is going to be right. They've learned their lessons. They know what they're doing. They know the mistakes they've made so they don't repeat them. And that was the best interview he could have possibly had with a person that we know is actually a hater. He talks all that mean crap on his podcast and stuff, but as soon as he has to speak to the guy directly, all of a sudden he's a great interviewer. He's a great journalist. I had nothing negative to say about Ryan did with that interview. Absolutely not.
I was going to make that point, but go ahead, continue. Yeah, I was going to make
that. But that was it
point.
right there. So if you want to jump in right there, please do.
No. What I was going to say was that, look, maybe Podcast Unlocked need to have more guests on their shows, since they have all the access to all these guys. All these devs and people, than just having a regular podcast, kind of like we do it, because they, if you're going to be and I understand, look, nothing wrong with being objective. You have to be objective. If you just come out and we say la 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 la, Xbox has done everything, Xbox One did everything right this generation, then you would be a liar. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. Xbox One was probably it's not probably, is the worst console in the sense of game wise than the 2 predecessors, hands down. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, can't nobody on this panel or anybody that's in the chat can tell me otherwise. The Xbox One game lineup it's been exclusively has been ass compared to the two predecessors. Do anybody in this panel disagree with me?
Hang on, you got hit with the pony juice?
No, I'm asking the question. Okay, so please tell me. Okay,
I can't answer this because I wasn't big on the previous generations.
Okay. So you was okay. So Op, you're the youngest one in here tonight. So 100. Are you going to tell me that the Xbox One, the Xbox One exclusives is better than the 360s and the OG Xbox?
I never said it was better, but it wasn't ass.
It wasn't ass, and I didn't say exclusive.
I said compared. I'm not saying overall. I love some.
Why we have to compare the generations? We talking about right now. We ain't talking about back then.
No. I'm making a point here of saying being objective about like, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people out here try to give pro Xbox channels or you know what I'm saying, podcasts. They try to give a bad rap to saying, well, they all just say the most positive things about Xbox.
Why are we worried about them? Fuck them.
No, I'm.
And my thing is,
I see where K-Mega's going with
that.
I don't work for a publication.
I know
we don't work for no publications.
I know that, but
so we don't have to follow what a journalism has to.
I'm not saying to follow anything. I'm saying in general, because I was making a point because on Ryan McCaffrey's podcast, they're overly objective to the point to where they may sound like a different type of podcast because of their
been checking them. That Asian chick been checking them.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about before that Asian chick because the demographic of one group listens to them more than Xbox gamers. You see what I'm saying?
But if his boss tells him that's what he has to do, that's what he got to do, or he got the option to leave.
What's going on, Miss K? What's going on, Miss K? You already see we getting started. You came in right on time. Anyway, so go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
So if his boss, think about, we have no bosses.
I know
they got a boss. They got a boss to answer to. So if that boss say, I want this and I'm gonna put that, because my thing is Ryan should have could pick anybody of his crew. He don't need a PlayStation guy on the PlayStation podcast. It's all PlayStation guys.
Woo! Hey, the Don said if I can hit 50 viewers, he will drop 200,000 sparks. Hey, man, we're 4 away from 50 viewers.
That's 20,000.
Did he say 20,000? Oh, 20,000. Man,
That's
cheap.
20,000.
You cheap bastard. 200,000. You know you got the sparks. Give me 200,000, sucker. Give me 200,000, because I don't know where we at amongst anybody tonight on Mixer, but damn it, we're doing better than most. I gotta say that. Thank you for you guys coming out. Damn, I lost one. That probably was Christopher Hart. Anyway, all right, I'm sorry. Well, honey, I want to go to you last. So I was just waiting to get our boy Slick to get done. So anyway, I was just making that point. Slick understood what I was saying. But anyway, go ahead, finish up, Slayer.
Yeah. So. Actually, just to back up the point that you were making, because I was done at that point anyway. But basically, to clarify what I was saying, which is what you were jumping off on.
What the hell is this ball thing? I ain't never.
Oh yeah, Mixer has all types of
What the hell is this?
Oh yeah. You're gonna see. You'll learn. You'll learn.
Wow, this is crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Interactivity, bro. But basically, Ryan, and was it Sleepy? Who just said it? He nitpicks on the over objectivity. Just sounds like nitpicking after a while, and it gets old. And yeah, that's the problem. He's with a group of other folks where he's saying some snide, and you know what it is. You know what it is. Technically, what he's saying is facts, but it's like when you're lying with the truth. It's like when you use the truth to lie. When you use the truth to be dishonest. Not to get all political about this virus thing, but when Hannity was like, nobody has died from the virus, it was just a month and a half ago when he said nobody died from the virus.
I gotta do a political
does he look now?
I want a political channel so bad. Oh.
Yeah, you've been talking about that, but I'm not really too heavy on that, but I think that was a simple example, Mm-hmm. And so Ryan McCaffrey, he's always up to some kind of, he's not no Jason Schreier where he's an obvious PlayStation fanboy just saying all types of and going nuts, but he's a bit more low key than the rest. but still, you see where he's going. And so that Asian chick that 100 is talking about, been putting him to task, him and the rest of the clowns who be on that podcast, because they're not being objective as journalists. They still have a bias that's not helpful. It's not healthy to discuss. It's just not for their clicks and their ad revenue, and that's all it is. And this is why I mentioned the fact that he could talk all that hype he wants, but when he has to interview Phil Spencer, all of a sudden that went right out the window, and he's behaving like a proper journalist, asking good questions, a couple of loaded ones, hoping he might get, something out of him. And if he doesn't, he doesn't, but that's the game, that's something you give us a pass to. But other than that, man, that's just, I see it in him. I see it. Yeah, I see the bitch in him. I see it very often. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, man. Because if I go on, man,
sound like that's a trigger.
You about to,
man.
get started.
Hypocrisy and other things like that get me real pissed off. So I'm just gonna stop. Yeah.
Look, the next topic is going to have me pissed off. I'm going to try to refrain myself from going a little left. Because of all the hate that's been going on. But
ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, because I'm about to crack open this Crown Black because I think I'm ready to get started. Anyway.
Oh no.
Woo! Anyway, 100. You last one here. Op, you already talked about it. Yes, you did. What did you think about the Phil Spencer situation?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. 100 is gonna be last. Op, what did you think about the Phil Spencer interview? Give us the good, the bad, and the ugly, if there was any ugly.
For Ryan McCaffrey's standards, it was a fairly decent interview. I guess the biggest negative is when he posed a question about Scalebound. I cringed at that. I was expecting it, but I was hoping he wouldn't. At the same time, one time I get why he posted it, because the shitstorm happened with Platinum Games, one of their leads over there, and the professionalism they exuded over the past month or so. I get why he posted a question, because that really generated a lot of traffic at Scalebound. But other than that, it was a fairly solid interview. He wasn't really on his bullshit too much, like he usually is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of good things you can take from the interview as well. One of the comments Phil Spencer made was like, from here on forward, they're going to be, I think, I'm not going to be verbatim, because I'm going to miss his words a little bit, but we're focusing more so on, they have games, I believe. We have a lot more games to show compared to hardware. So in that statement, he's not necessarily say that they're completely done with hardware, but he did affirm it as well. He did allude towards services as well, what they could be offering. So as far as like the Lockhart theories going out there, wasn't confirmed but wasn't denied at the same time. So, but I think it's probably
now. Where did you hear that part? Where did you get that part from?
Because he was talking about, I think they were talking about E3, I believe.
Yes.
Phil Spencer made a comment, not verbatim. From here on forward, we're focusing more so on games. I think hardware at this point, because Jim Wright, I think he asked a question about how they're going to like just present the price of Series X, or how they're going to do going forward, and that's where this little conversation came up. So it's kind of up in the air at this point. He didn't confirm it, nor did he really deny anything about hardware. He said they're going to focus more so on games. So that theory is really up in the air right now. But other than that, I really can't pull anything out on the top of my head from the interview. That was really a negative. I really enjoyed everything. I really enjoyed the insight he gave us about Microsoft. I guess their philosophy and how they're thinking right now as far as the pandemic, all that stuff. And I really do applaud them for when their employees work from home. I know it's probably not easy. Even though I think he did mention that switch from working office and work home wasn't that difficult for them, which is good as well. So it really poses a question, like, if they're working, or at least most companies are working this fine, when they have employees at home, did they really come to the office in the first place? Like, is there really a need for offices or office spaces if employees are still...
Yes, you need that social connection.
Okay.
I mean, I would think you're more productive. That'd be for sure.
And that the spells out
there. It
there.
could be less, I feel, depending on the situation. If you're just home, some people are just not disciplined unless they're in a situation where they have to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what, like, sometimes it's just, there's a lot more workflow, you know what I mean? Like, not only do you email, but like sometimes you just walk into somebody and like, oh, I got this thing that I need to talk to you about. It just reminds you versus like you get into it or constantly delaying on the, working on some project that you're thinking about. So
okay. Well, I guess to wrap it up, I'm I'm happy where Microsoft's head is at right now as far as Series X and how they feel about it, especially compared to how Sony for the debut. Specs behind PS5. All knew that he felt confident about it, especially after that shit show that his name Cerny, I forgot his name. Mark
Cerny, yeah.
After that shit show that he delivered over there, for them feeling confident and better about the Series X was really at this point. So yeah, that's really all I can think of.
Okay, all right, not bad. 100.
I like.
Oh no, go ahead, PK.
I was gonna say I want to point out something, and I want to see if everyone agrees. This what I think is important about this whole interview is, how many times has Phil have to speak up for the Xbox brand and answer these questions over and over? And how many times have we seen any of the Sony heads do interviews like this one in this type of format ever?
Oh wow.
The first question, a lot. Second question,
great point, PK. Great point, PK. Oh my
Indeed.
God. Indeed. And look who came in here with the
Wheezy Dragon.
Puff the Magic Dragon himself. He came back again. Hey man,
brother.
What's going on with you 108 Dragons? What's going on?
I'm good, son.
Oh, no, you don't sound good, bro. Just say bro, you sound
good.
Hey, like last week. No, you don't sound as bad like last week. Last week you sound like you was Biggie with them big ass eyes looking around, getting a little confused, talking about son, it's dangerous in these streets. But now you sound a little bit better. So
nah, that's just how a lot of dudes from Brooklyn sound.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Hey, oh man, because I was like, man, last week I was like, that boy was over here singing he was over here doing the shit from what was that movie? He says, if they don't know, they gonna show. The Boys in the Hood. That was from Boys in the Hood. Yeah, I was like, God damn, that boy's in trouble. Anyway, all right, man, what's going on with you? And I'm gonna go back to let what PK finish what he's saying, but what's going on with you, 108?
Nothing. Wanted to chime in on his interview.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna
let
PK finish what he was gonna say, and then I'm gonna go to 100, and then I'll come to you. Go ahead, PK. Finish what you gonna say, bro.
I just wanted to say, when you think about the importance of this type of interview, don't you think that it would be more important for the Sony heads to have this type of interview to talk about the upcoming console, what it looks like, what we get to see games, blah blah blah? More important for them to come out and do this kind of interview, considering than Phil Spencer answering the same questions over and over, and happen to keep putting everything on the table for everyone to see over and over, because it's almost like they don't believe it, even though they see it with their own eyes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It would be better and beneficial because look, when we get to the next topic, it's going to kind of put everything in perspective. But yeah, like there are so many unanswered questions about the PlayStation 5 compared to going on with the competition with Xbox Series X, and yet people are still trying to think that nobody is paying attention that PlayStation is going through something, and Xbox is out here just giving you information, and they're doing it kind of like that they were still hungry, and then while PlayStation is still holding back as though like, look, our name is PlayStation. We're synonymous for having 100 and some million consoles sold with the PlayStation 4. Well, we're talking about the PlayStation 5. There's nothing that's been really presented about this console except about the SSD. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely.
You know what I would say, King Mega? I know. You know what the funny thing I hear a lot is like, well, Sony don't have to say nothing. When has Sony ever did Microsoft any favors?
No, you're right. You're right.
Talk big shit about anything that they got. What does Sony do? They drop trailers.
Yeah.
They talk about like, oh, we talk about numbers sold.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they always do that? So all of a sudden,
they always have done it.
You know what the problem is?
Mm-hmm.
Is when basically, Bill was like, let's stop talking. You talking all that big shit about how big your dick is. Let's whip it out. Threw it on the table, and the nigga was like, Well, yeah. Now you can't
Wow.
fake it no more. The specs is out. You can't lie. You know, 12 is bigger than 9.2. Sometimes on a good day, 10.3.
It
It
is.
is what it is, man.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so my boy, I'm gonna go to you 100. So I'm coming to you, but I gotta answer somebody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Henosis. Listen, I understand that Chris can get under people's skin sometimes, but Chris, but
What do
Chris
you?
has the right to
I,
say what he
what
wants
the hell did
to.
he say?
If
Oh,
you
you
bl-
block. He
if
blocked him.
you know what I'm saying, if you block him, I say unblock him. No, I see Chris right there. He says y'all scrubs. Anyway, do not block Chris. I do not want to have a culture to where if people get under your skin that you feel like you have to. And I know that you're a moderator because I got a couple of moderators in here, and I trust you guys.
Hmm?
And if anything, if he annoys you like that, just mute him. But I want Chris to have his voice made in here. And any pro PlayStation fan to come, or PC, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a right to say what they want to in this podcast. If you like it or not, just ignore him. If you know what I'm saying, I know that Chris goes overboard, and I know that we're talking more about this
Yeah.
man than I normally bring up. But we're all mixer here, and the thing of it is this: everybody has a right to say what they want to, as long as it's not attacking somebody's personal or family or things like that. It's all good. Just ignore it. Let it ride. If Chris goes overboard, I'll check him myself. But
All
Chris
right,
is
but
just himself.
hey, Megger, if I may interject on that point, he
Yes,
has
sir.
derailed the show and the chat more than once. He did it tonight. He derailed the show and we went completely left. To have to address this clown, instead of addressing the topic. So
Right. Well,
I do have a problem with that.
well, I had to address it because I didn't want to type it because I wanted to go straight to 100 on this. I just wanted to make that point because I'm not going to make any more points about that. If you got a problem with Chris, just ignore him or conversate back to him. The banter is kind of cute because it's just kids play, but the point of the matter is if you get offended or if you feel you get upset about it, just mute his ass. Don't worry about it. That's it. Just move on. All right, 100. What is it that you got? But do not block him. Do not block because his voice should be heard for people that's watching the show. And that's just like everybody else's voices should be heard. 100. What was your thoughts about the uh, Phil Spencer interview, and to what PK said, what he alluded to. I mean, what was your thoughts about that? Because I thought that PK made some very strong, valid points.
Yeah, honey.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a damn college lecture right now. Shit, you over here talking. I
T-
think I was
tell
in
the
no
truth, shame
seminar.
the devil, dog.
Oh
Out here, I
man.
did seminar, live wire,
It's,
talking for
it's
5 years.
Palm Sunday,
You know what
homie.
I'm saying? But I'm just gonna say this. I ain't gonna say long. I'm tired of people blaming Phil for what Xbox did when it first came out.
Yeah,
Phil
this
wasn't
is
even nowhere close to the power that he has now. So quit blaming Phil. Phil probably wanted to do something different, didn't have the power to do it. You forgot he wasn't that high up on the hierarchy of having power that he has now. He's been proven. He just proved how he made the X, the S, and the X, and made it look like, hey, you give me the keys to the truck. We finna load up. We finna go load up. We finna cash out, and they've been cashing out. Look at the different narratives that the developers came towards Microsoft. I see, Phil. That's why the man upstairs or whoever you believe in ain't put me in power, because I wouldn't have gone IGN. The only reason I looked at some of it, like unlocked, because I wanted to hear. I was bored at the job, and I was just sitting there, just like, let me hear what they got to say. Let me hear this propaganda of the BS. But Phil know they know what they doing. Phil like, okay, this is my shit now. Let's ride with it. Remember when the X came out? When they sold that, what they had a bunch of developers saying, "Oh, this is a wonderful thing. This and that." You know, one thing with Phil is Phil. I'm gonna put it this way: it's not just Phil. it's a lot of people that work for Microsoft that will talk to their consumers, where Sony don't do that. I never saw Mike certainly talk to anybody. You know, even when he had his stuff with Digital Foundry, that was over the phone or over Skype or something. It wasn't telecast. If we're going off believing what Digital Foundry is telling us, but nobody's questioning that. And then you see Phil, every time Sony tried to get 2 steps, Microsoft hit him over the head. And they've been doing it since they even introduced the Series X. I didn't need no confidence. I already knew what we had. When Phil said we got the powerful, baddest console ever, I ain't have to. He ain't lied with me with the X. He ain't lied with me with the S. He went out. Y'all wanted game studios. He got game studios. Has he been buying what? They've been having open checks for all these studios. They get new offices. You can come down here to Santa Monica, not Sony Santa Monica, but you come out to Santa Monica, sit on the beach, you know, cold and peace. Like I said, it's different. It's Microsoft. I mean, Phil I don't know why people needed that. Like, hey, we needed that. No, I needed that when I saw it. When I saw that bad boy for the first time, and I was like, okay, that's a beast. And then when they had Digital Foundry and all these other Austin and all these other people come and put their hands on the machine, and then they just teased them. They was teasing them with Xbox game, regular, not the Series X game, just Xbox One games, OG Xbox. They were. So that's my assurance already. Now he's doing this. This is PR now. You don't see what Jack Ryan. That's something what Sean Layton would do. Sean Layton will go do some PR. They do some good PR. That's why I said I think he on the gag order. You know what they did to him. You know what I'm saying? But
he probably still on the payroll. So yeah, gag
yeah.
order.
So Jim Ryan, I told you, people sit there. I actually even watched Game Facts, something like that. They be doing and one dude was like, "No, this theory that Jim Ryan pulled a coup." I'm like, "You stole that from me. I've been saying that since the first time I heard it. It was a coup. It's a bunch of people that just like, I'm not messing with him." You know, my thing is, why Sony, when you talked about the PlayStation 5, you should have. I know everybody's on lockdown except me. You go and talk. You can go sit there in video conference with IG and the game stops. You know, they'll love it. You already got Eurogamer in your pocket. You got Kotaku in your pocket. And you can, what Microsoft do? They showed off specs. And then they start talking about it. They had a person there asking questions. This is our cooling system. This is how it stacks. You know, and I've been telling people, don't worry about the manufacturing and all that. That stuff gonna come. Microsoft got to think about it with Microsoft, and they're good for doing it. Y'all want to use big words tonight? That's me use a big word.
Here we go, big word team today.
Woo! Let me be country. Educate me. What? Say that word.
Redundancy.
Oh,
that means,
man,
they have a backup for a
backup. 100 ain't drinking tonight. 100 ain't drinking tonight.
I'm just finna hit it now.
Woo! That's why I know, because you weren't gonna say that word if you was drinking. I know that's redundancy. Come on, bro.
Yeah. So that's what they have. When Xbox Live go, that's why you don't see it go down for this.
We educated brothers tonight.
So I don't want to hear, you know, as us, man, as like, no, I don't want to hear about certain stuff, get this and this and that. I want the fight. You know what I'm saying? I want to see
that's smoke. That's what you want. You want the smoke.
You want that fade. Let's go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You better come because I'm coming for knock you out. But that's how people keep on saying that using Phil. This is Phil really first toy that he can really, really play with. And what he doing? He's going out there
knocking it out the park. That's what he's doing.
And then he's talking to other publications that we don't even hear sometimes. We don't know who they are. So it's not like like I said, he's like, I'm open. I'll talk to you. As long as I know that you know, Ryan acting like they got this buddy thing. Like, nah, Ryan, they going to use you. They went on IGN to use you because they know your platform. People are going to talk about it. They're going to run around it. And then he went the next day. He went on Thursday. Boom. And he talked to the pony. And they was like, the thing about it is, Phil is a man of steel. He ain't gonna break. He ain't gonna slip. You know what I'm saying? I heard the first day, I heard he had a publicist with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't say that. Because sometimes you can rattle and don't realize you're saying something. But that's what you're supposed to do. And like I said, these, people want about games. I didn't see PlayStation talking about no games, but with Godfall, but that's going on PC. So
That's
if
rumored
I
to
want
be
to play
free to
that
play
game,
as
it ain't as
well.
exclusive, but I'm not going to play that game.
It's not a first party title anyway.
No.
Yeah. So I've been said put the back the Last of Us back, but I heard you might talk about that later on. But I've been saying certain stuff because you got to give something for the consumer to buy, and you haven't shown anything. Your competitor showed you everything, but with their games, they showed you the box, the cooling system, the specs. They're talking. I don't know. It's like Sony told you it's something going on in Sony. Sony getting restructured, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Live. You
Well
got
said. Well said.
live. You got something you got to say?
Yeah, I would say, you know what the difference is? I know a lot of people talking about confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really confidence per se. I mean, not solely. Phil said something during the interview when Ryan was like, saying how like, what did you get a new team to come out there and engineer the Xbox? Because ever since the debacle of the Xbox One, y'all have gotten better at designing consoles. He said, nah, did that narrative. We got the same team. The difference is the upper heads had a lot of like they didn't really know what they were trying to do, and then they trying to rush out a console. He said when you give them time, this is what you get. So it's not about confidence solely just being confident because they're prepared. When you're prepared to go to war, of course you're gonna have confidence because you know you're ready. When you're not prepared, everybody's disheveled. You don't know where you're supposed to be. What's your position? That's the thing. That's what a leader's supposed to do. Put everybody in position to win. That's that's the true definition of being a leader.
Yeah, all
Like
the
it's not.
ducks are in a row, so he's confident. I feel because
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. It's not about him doing it by himself. And blah, blah, blah. Because guess what? Everybody's always like, well, Phil, he was in the room. He could have said something. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's not the leader. You know why? Uncle Phil could have changed everything. Okay, cool. Then why the fuck are we dealing with the bullshit we dealing with America when the leader of the country is a fucking idiot?
Okay. Come on. Back
I'm
it up.
just saying. No,
I
I'm just
get it.
being
I
honest.
get it. I get it. But
But
come
what
on.
I'm saying is they're talking about all the people behind the guy, but it, like you can present whatever you want, but if the dude chooses something that fucking fails, then what do? Well, I gave the idea, but it still failed because guess what? The leadership matters. So this
I agree.
whole
I agree with you on that one.
yeah, because so like just saying like, oh well, he was in the room. That shit doesn't mean anything, bro. Being in the room. How many times we done seen sports teams freaking cut their head coach and go with assistant, and the assistant win a championship? Leadership matters, bro. That shit matters. You know. So I mean, just because you were there doesn't mean that you were able to put in the full effect of what your plans or ideas were. You can give suggestions, but at the end of the day, the leadership, shows big time. And look, he's implementing everything he wants. He saw the mistakes of the previous regime, and he still made some mistakes of his own, and he said so. But he moved, learned from them, moving past them, and then moving forward. That's all you get asked for. As long as you're not making the same mistake all the time, like bro, that's all you can really ask for. That's all you can really ask for. And anybody talking about, well, they making kiddie games, like bro, them games wasn't made. Like stop with the dumb shit. Like you making a game overnight. Like nobody does that. we're like, well, they could have canceled it, bro. Nobody's canceling the game that's been in development for 2 years just because you don't want to play it. Nigga, don't play that shit. Play something else. Go play Call of Duty like you always do. Fuck. You gonna sit here and talk about a game that you're not even gonna fucking play? What is the point in that? Oh, I don't like the way this game looks. I don't like the way this is at. I'm like, bro, you don't even play that shit. Over here talking all that dumb shit about.
Nah, they
well,
play Reset Era and NeoGAF and Twitter. That's the games they play because they don't even play the games on their, so-called system of choice.
yo,
When you look at their accounts.
But these same dudes will be the ones talking about all these cartoony games, but then be the first ones.
I want to see 52, Don. I want to see 52. We were close. We were 48. We got it 48, but now we down to 42. But it was all right.
Yeah, bring it in. Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah, get those numbers up. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about the president, though, you have nobody out there. There can be people out there that's Trump supporters. We can't talk about them like that.
Bro, it ain't about no.
I got you.
It ain't about being, bro. Look,
I'm not.
We can get shit wrong. It's okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? And look, he's a salesman. No disrespect, he can sell shit, bro.
Oh yeah, no,
he got where he is. I mean, granted, yeah, he was born rich.
All right, we going left. Get back to your point.
Yeah, but anyway, man, like I said.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, Live. I got to do this. I've been very disrespectful. I'm so sorry for you guys. Because it's different because I'm used to seeing on YouTube people giving I forget what they're called. Yeah, they're like
arcs or gems or whatever.
Yeah, well, no.
Embers.
Yeah, like it's different here because it's embers, but like when on YouTube, it's with people in the chat and then they donate that way. But embers is the same thing. So my bad. So Henosis, and I see my boy in New York. He popped something way before when we first started the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but I will say this. Henosis said, love the conversation, best wishes, prayers to everyone during this weird quarantine. Absolutely, man. I definitely, you know what I'm saying? My heart goes out to everybody in what we're going through because I'm going through it as well. Maybe not as much as because my state is really behind. It's one of those states that gives a half-ass quarantine, even though that everything is starting to spike, and it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people going through stuff. The next topic I think is going to be the topic of topics. I think probably one of the most. It's going to be personal, and it's going to be one of those things. For me, it's going to be a little bit personal because of so much hate that I've been getting. But I think the topic is just going to break down of what we need to discuss and how it needs to be discussed and all of that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People out there that's going through it right now. And for the people that's alone, that's at home, and you know what I'm saying? My heart goes out to you guys. You know what I'm saying? My old lady right now, she's at her mom's house, you know what I'm saying? Because she hasn't seen her mom in a couple of weeks. And so, you know what I'm saying, I told her just to go, you know what I'm saying, spend time with your mom, do that. I'm cool. As a gamer, I don't mind being isolated. You know what I'm saying, gamers have a really good, has it really good right now because we are known to kind of be isolated. But if they cut off Xbox Live or PSN, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be a problem, you know what I'm saying, because I can only play so many single-player games or multiplayer games without talking to somebody. So, but that's the thing right here is that, look, I mean, I totally understand for people out there that's just, yeah. So I get it. So yeah, you know what I'm saying, much praise, you know what I'm saying, my heart goes out to everybody out there. Praise God, and I'm praying for all of you people out there and hope that everybody stays safe and healthy. My boy Jazzy Noop, he says, make sure to share it, folks. Mixer is the spot. See, I'm glad that you guys are starting to like Mixer a little bit. There's so much creativity and things that we can do amongst here. Miss K is one of those pioneers that decided to get away from YouTube and start doing something different. And I kind of followed that model because when she said this stuff, you know, a couple of years ago, I listened. And you know what I'm saying. And so big shout out to Miss K for the support. You know what I'm saying, because I definitely check you out, listen to your stuff. I may not say nothing all the time, but I definitely listen to what you say because, you know what I'm saying, you're a vet in this game. And then also, oh, my boy T Reaper in the house. Oh, my God. Look at my boy T Reaper. What's going on? He said, LOL, great show. Guys, remember, low, middle end options, play anywhere. Happy Easter. Stay safe. Everyone play games. Absolutely, man. Thank you so much, T Reaper. I appreciate the love, man. And you know what I'm saying? And Yobi, I gotta say it. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm gonna read it right here. He says, "I'm going ham on Arkham Knights. Finish the main story. Just gotta finish the other mission and DLC to activate the Nightfall Protocol. Pretty exciting, man. The Arkham series is so good.
Yeah, I
Absolutely,
gotta get to Arkham Knights, that last one. Oh my god.
Get
absolutely,
my
absolutely.
stamp of approval right there.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, Yobi, you know what I'm saying? My boy Yobi, man, he be on his shit, man. He's a gamer, he's doing his shit. But thank you guys for the embers. I know my boy New York Music, he dropped something earlier and I completely overlooked it because I got confused. You know what I'm saying? It's still processing with me. With the transition over to Mixer, other than YouTube, and when I see somebody that throws you know what I'm saying, that does something in the chat, and then I know automatically. So now, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be more diligent and pay attention to that. So anyway, all right. So live, go ahead and finish what you gotta say, man, because I gotta go to Lemon. Oh, I
Go
gotta.
ahead, man. I don't remember.
Oh shit, my bad. All right, cool. All right, 108. I know you've been sitting here waiting patiently. What did you think about the whole situation with the Phil Spencer interview? And man, give us the good, the bad, and the ugly, man.
First, I'm gonna start off with assassinating our fellow light-skinned brother, Christopher Fart, because everything comes out
Oh,
his
come
mouth is
on,
shit.
man. Come
Nope,
on,
nope,
bro.
nope. He gonna get this smoke. Now,
He
you
feeling
know,
better.
I blocked that sucker on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna tell y'all people in the chat, man. We need,
Megatron. What's
we
up, bro?
need, we need people like that in the chat because he does not reflect the PlayStation fan. He reflects the PlayStation idiots.
Oh
And
shit.
you need them. We need that stupid negative energy that people just be saying wild crazy shit that nobody believes so we all could laugh as a group at a clown. There's always a jester in the yard for the king, baby.
Oh wow.
And he's the jester. And I will never block you ever again. Please speak your mind, because it definitely reflects your goddamn intelligence. I
Speak your
love it.
mind. That boy
I
feeling
love
good
it.
tonight. He feeling good. Go ahead,
But I
bro.
am gonna say this, man.
Yeah.
The interview, I agree with PK. I agree with 100. You know what I'm saying? And live. Microsoft has been an open slate, open book, giving you all the information. You got all these fake tech dudes talking about SSD gates don't exist. Dudes talking about CUs. Y'all don't even know what the hell that means. Stop. Microsoft said day one they have built the most powerful console. Okay, I said they need games. They bought all these goddamn studios. No game is made overnight. No game is made for PlayStation overnight. They just pushed back Last of Us. That's a seasoned group of developers. Seasoned. So that shows you that these games are not fly by night, drop in the bucket, put them out on the market, and sell. Microsoft has done everything possible to switch. Me and Megatron had a long hour-and-a-half conversation last night, and I told him straight out I didn't think Phil was the man for this job because he was too goddamn passive, and we needed somebody to kick some teeth in and snatch some ears off and make some necklaces, because we're not used to this as Xbox people. Was K Mega right? This generation of first party is weak compared to the other of. Not that it's weak, it's weaker than what we're used to. That's a fact. Anybody disputes that, that's a you problem. And you want to take things and spin it to make it, oh no, but guess what? This is what happened. Nobody wants to hear that. Now we're hearing rumblings, wonder if Halo Infinite get pushed back. Who says that who wants good games? There's no hint of Halo being pushed back. Where you getting this from? Where did this all of a sudden evaporate from vaporware? Where did this come from? The only people that would not want Halo to be a launch title is a PlayStation dummy. Just like Last of Us being pushed back, that fucking hurts me. You know why? Because I'm gonna buy Last of Us 2. And PlayStation fans did not purchase Last of Us the first one. Don't act like y'all was out there buying it by the droves. It got a remix love on PlayStation 4, and they started giving it away for $10. I had that game day one and was playing multiplayer when it was only 2,000 people a month playing that game.
And that multiplayer was different, original.
And it was dope. So what I'm saying is when I see a game like that get pushed back, I don't care if I prefer Xbox Online because I'm an online gamer 99% of my life. I don't want to see no game of that magnitude that I'm looking forward to get pushed or delayed because I'm always looking for the next best thing. This console war shit I'm looking on Twitter, I'm telling you, y'all dudes should get in your cars, take off your seatbelts, and run straight into a brick wall. Because y'all are just absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic what y'all say online. It's pathetic the hate that the people who enjoy their games, how can you play Animal Crossing? I think Animal Crossing sucks. But if PK like it, I'm happy because PK's enjoying his gaming time. Why should I give a damn about goddamn Animal Crossing? I don't play it. I don't talk about it. I won't review it. I won't get involved. I bought that thing one time and said, this just not for me. But if somebody else is enjoying something, why are you fuck bastards online always trying to ruin somebody else's enjoyment? You know why? Because I don't want to say what Live said, but you're coming up short when you put your joint on the table. That's a problem with you. And if I get off my goddamn deathbed to get online to express my feelings, you must have fucking aggravated me. Y'all dudes are just simple-minded and disgusting. And Phil don't gotta prove nothing. No more. All we need is games now. We know we got the power. PlayStation, listen, I don't care. I'm walking out the store with both systems. I want both of them to have a successful launch because I'm purchasing both. Period. But all this narrative, Phil has to prove. Phil ain't got to prove shit. Xbox One X shut the whole market down. Mark Cerny said, well, if they come out with a system that's native 4K at 6 teraflops, that's not possible. That came out of the lead engineer out of Sony. Sony don't have the best engineers in the world. Microsoft, Apple, and Samsung do. And obviously they know what they're doing. This is not the first go around. The cell processor was a beast in the PS3, and it still sucks. Today, 360 outperformed it, ran circles around it. Same group made the Xbox. Same groups made the Xbox One, and now they make the Series X. Like Phil said, like Live said, we gave them time, and now they got a Bentley. Period. So all this narrative and all your Twitter finger tough guys, stop. Because every time you say something, it definitely reflects your goddamn intelligence. And it shows you how simple-minded and stupid that half of y'all are. Instead of learning something from a podcast or listening to somebody who know what they're talking about to educate yourself, you still regurgitate nonsense. So thank you. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed that smoke. I'm done.
Lord have mercy.
He was
Lord have
too
mercy.
busy making excuses to even listen to you.
No. Well, he listened. He heard every word. Now, this is the thing right here. Now, this is the perfect segue into the topic of the night. It might be the last topic, and then we just get on out of here. We'll just, ride off at the sunset. But let K-Mega get on to a little bit of this rant. Okay, so I don't want to get...
brother, preach.
You know what I'm saying? So let's do this. Let me see if my OBS skills is up to task. All right, boom. Here we go. I hope you people see this. Here we go. I posted this after somebody... I'm not ever giving that bum credit or showing anything of what he or she say. But this one person made a comment about The Last of Us 2 being delayed. And they brought up the facts of toilet paper and planes and brought up the pandemic as an excuse of why Sony is basically taking the game, it's taking The Last of Us 2 and delaying it again. Not for the second time, not for the third time, not for the fourth time, but again. Now, granted, there is a oh yeah, no, we're going there. You know what I'm saying? You guys going to go there. Oh, I'm going there. I'm going there because there is a lot of things that needs to be addressed, and I will address them. I will talk about them. I will break them down. I want to hear the panel first after I say what I got to say, and then I'm going to go in, and I'm really going to go in because it's gotten to the point now that it's almost personal because of all the personal attacks that I've been getting in my DMs over fake garbage. But let me go ahead and finish what I gotta say, right? Excuse me. So, damn. No, this isn't pandemic. This is just me. I sipped on. I did what I did last week. Sipped on this Crown Black a little bit too tough. Excuse me. Anyway, so what's going on is this. Somebody come out here and try to use Sony came out and they said that the game was basically being pushed back. And understandable, I get it, right? It's not like I don't understand what Sony is trying to do or why they did it, right? It is one of those reasons, look, they're looking at their economics. They thinking that by the time that the game that they delayed until a couple of months from now being released, there maybe people wouldn't have the resources or the income to buy that game. So smartly, they backed out and they delayed the game. I'm not saying Sony was done for that. I posted a video a couple of hours after they released that. So if anybody wants to try to break down anything of what I said and try to change it up like they have been, all you got to do is just go to my video on my YouTube channel and just listen to what I said about the delay. And it was a smart decision by Sony. Sony is the company. They got the rights. They can do whatever they want to. But this is what I said when that individual said, hey, try to use the pandemic as the excuse. When I said this right here. This is the receipts right here. Then say it's from a lack of people having funds. If the only option was to get the game digital, gamers would still buy it. But to stop any sales from the game from hard copies isn't available is crazy. They could always sell hard copies and collector items at a later date. Now, I was saying that as a genuine gamer, not saying this as anybody trying to take shots at Sony. I'm saying, look, you as a company slow played over and over and over. And what the stands constantly keep forgetting or may not even want to talk about, because when I say stands, I'm not talking about PlayStation fans. I'm talking about those crazed, delusional, outrageous PlayStation fans that don't listen to reason and only wants to attack and be dirty and nasty and meticulous, and they don't even play games they goddamn selves. This is the group that I'm talking to. PlayStation fans, get out of here. Get out of there. That's not to you. If Sony didn't slow play, the developers themselves last month said that The Last of Us 2 was already ready to go. They wanted to just clean up a couple of bugs, do a couple of this and that, but the game is ready. It's gone gold from what I understood. The game is ready to go. They've been ready to push this game out. That's what they said that in September, when that whole crunch situation came about, that in September, the game wasn't really quite ready. The game was polished, but it wasn't polished enough, so they were actually asking for a little bit more time. March, when they delayed it to March, it was the perfect time, right? So March they should have did it, but Sony got scared of a game that was called Cyberpunk. Then they got scared because of a game called Final Fantasy. Then they also got scared because of a topic that I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk about, but hopefully we can, about the whole the rumors about the whole thing running hot and all this other stuff. But whatever, I digress. But the whole thing about this is that this game should have been released in March. Sony slow played, they gambled, and now we in a pandemic, and now they got to make probably the smartest decision is by pulling it back, and hopefully they'll bring it back. Now, my point was from the beginning is that it's about economics. It ain't about the people. It ain't about about the pandemic. It ain't about any of that other shit. It's about the economics. Because trust me, if hard copies could be sold, that game would still be out there. That game would have been out. If there wasn't no stay-at-home shelter, that game would have been out. I don't care if anybody gets pissed off about me saying that, but look, this is a business. They want money. They put a lot of money behind this game. This corporation wants to make every bit of the money that they put into this and more, and the game will. The game will sell like hotcakes, right? So it's a smart business decision. But for anybody that will take this and go left and try to use this as about the pandemic when really it's all about is economics, at the end of the day, you're frauding the public. And that's all I was saying, right? If you know what I'm saying, you can sell the game digitally, whatever. People have went through all these multiple they went through all these multiple pre-orders, they spent the money on it, and now they're going to start getting frustrated, right? So you should have just put the game out in March when they said that the game was already ready, because they're already getting bad publicity behind the crunch situation. You know what I'm saying? So now I see somebody trying to damage control, trying to use the pandemic as something as though you can't talk, you can't make this topic, you can't talk about this, or if you do, then what you're doing is that you're trying to disrespect the people that are a part of that's going through the struggle through this pandemic, which is absolutely false. So again, I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to go to 100 first. What is your thoughts about The Last of Us 2? Now, do you think that I'm wrong about what I just said? And do you think that I'm wrong about what I just posted on Twitter the other day? What is it, man? I mean, do you think that The Last of Us 2 deserves to be extended again? Or this game should have already been out by now? 100. You there? Okay. Now I did all this stuff and 100 ain't even there. All right. Damn. Livewire. What do you think?
Yeah. Man, I think they should go digital, bro. And then come out with physical. I mean, other forms of entertainment been doing this for a while. With CDs and movies. I mean, shit, movies. Some of them are digital for a month. I think wasn't Black Panther out for like a month before it even came to disc? I know it was a minute. So like, I don't understand the economic. Maybe there's a deal that they have or something. I don't know, but it doesn't really sound like it makes that much sense to me. Like, because the people, it's almost because you could basically have two releases. You could advertise for a digital release, come get the game here, blah 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 blah, and then when the physical is like it's down coming in the pipeline, you could advertise for that again, get a second rollout with that. Um, so I mean, it'll hit twice. You know what I mean? Like the same thing with people with movies. When a movie goes to the theater, they rev up their ad campaign, and when it goes to the disc, they do the same thing. So I mean, I don't really see why they can't just do that. I don't understand. I mean, I've heard the argument where people are like, well, what about people that only want to buy physical? Well, you have the option to just wait. I mean, but what if they're on YouTube and they see all these people having fun playing The Last of Us? Well, you have the option not to be on YouTube. There's other websites you can go to. But what about like it's always these stupid ass excuses. Like, bro, either buy the game and shut the fuck up, or don't buy the game and shut the fuck up. But why does everybody have to be like subjected to your weird ass rules for why you want to just buy physical? Like that's your fucking issue. Or you could do both. You got motherfuckers that buy the digital copy because that's the easiest way to have it, and then they buy the physical copy because they just like having physical shit. I don't see what the issue is. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. So to me, if it has to be like maybe it's a deal or something's not right and they just saying this shit. You know what I mean? Because I would see that you would make more money doing it digital and then physical anyway. And then that's the direction we're going anyway. It's almost like just giving people a kick in the pants and be like, look, because of this issue, you know what I mean, we're gonna go digital first. So, you know, this is kind of the direction that everybody's going moving forward in the future. Why the fuck is this going to be like? This is the perfect opportunity because I bet you if this shit was a big game by Microsoft, they couldn't, bro. They still going digital. That shit gonna be on Game Pass. It's gonna be digital. When the physical shit ready, they're gonna have that shit out there. Like this shit sounds like bullshit.
Okay, cool. All right, I can't believe 100 wasn't there for me after I did my little baby rant. But PK, uh, let me know, cause I mean, cause you know what I'm saying. I know this is your first time me going on my little rant about it. If you tell me if you think I'm wrong, I have no problem with that. But did anything that I just state, did it sound like I was trying to discredit anything, or did I sound like that I was trying to use the pandemic as a crutch for anything? Just let me know and give me your thoughts about this whole situation.
Well, first of all, if I think you were talking about that, I think you would literally state that, right?
Hmm.
It doesn't sound like you used any of those words, and it sounds like someone just kind of took what you said and heard what they wanted to hear. And I think the hardest the hardest job for a conversation is for people to listen and not really talk, right? So
Great
people
point.
talking and listen is two different things. There's two different jobs there.
Hmm.
Um, Considering the far as them releasing it digital, I think you're right. They could release it digital and then physical copies later. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake is releasing early in Australia. I don't know if you know that.
No, I do
And
know that. I know people was
so
getting hard copies way early. Yeah.
so if they can get it early, if they can regionalize that and change it early for a different country, then they could do that as well for different publications, right? They could do it digitally, right? They can do different things. Um, but I think at the end of the day, I think you're hitting on the point where they they missed their shot, right? They missed their window of opportunity,
Hmm.
and now they don't want to have their big release on the same side as another big release that will take away from their sales. And that makes sense because we know what happened with Titanfall 2 when that dropped the same day as Call of Duty and Battlefield is Titanfall 2 wasn't a terrible game, but it released in the same time window as the other two behemoths, which
Right.
made that game um, non-existent. But if it came
Yeah.
out before, like in the summer or spring when there was nothing releasing, it would have done well. And I think that's part of their, I don't know who's working on their marketing team, right? Because it Sony just seems kind of mysterious right now. But I think in the terms of what you were saying, I don't think you were wrong. I think people were just picking apart what you were saying and kind of coming to their own conclusions. And I think people just need to step back. And if they don't understand or if it sounds confusing, ask you for clarification. It's that simple. Ask for clarification, and then you can state it. Because if it sounds like confirmation bias, it might not be true. That's a big word for you, confirmation bias.
Your confirmation. Woo, boy, my brothers is out here tonight. The light skinned dudes, except for we don't know what op is. Op could be Russian. I have no idea. But other than that, You know what I'm saying? Everybody, all the brothers tonight, all the light skinned brothers tonight has been hitting it. I know Op is over here cussing me out, throwing his fist to the sun. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
On to
I'm
the
at peace right now. I ain't letting it bother me.
Woosah, woosah,
Woosah.
brothers.
Anyway, all my brothers have been hitting them with the big words tonight. I gotta come with something tonight. I gotta come with something tonight. Or
But yeah,
I'll
just
probably
to
just
wrap
let me
it
be
up,
country. But
I
anyway,
just
go ahead.
wanted you to know that I think uh, what you were trying to say was fine. I just think people need to. I think sometimes people have agendas, right?
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
know, and that's what it comes down to. They're not trying to listen for understanding. They're just trying to hear and pick apart uh, sound bites and then put together their own narrative. And the thing is, at the end of the day, this is a business, like you said, and they're going to strategize their big release to maximize profit. Simple. Now, if they see that they missed their window of opportunity because of whatever is going on within them, within the world, and maybe they can't do it due to some restrictions or something, they're going to do it at the best possible time for them so they can maximize profits. And it wouldn't be a good idea to release on the same day as another big game that could possibly ruin their launch or suffocate it. So
Thank
that's
you.
my thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And you know what? I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway, so people can actually see where that response come from. And,
Don't
and
do it. Don't do it.
no,
Don't
no,
do it.
no, no, no. I am. Right here. Boom. I'm right here.
Oh boy.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because this is the thing, right? It's dangerous. It is dangerous, right? I mean, look, you see right here, like I got the receipts. Like somebody hit me up last night, and so I've been getting hit, like I said, on the DMs quite a bit for the last couple of days. But for last night, I got hit up, and it was like, man, I was watching the video, and I seen somebody out there. They were attacking you. They were just showing stuff about you. They was doing all this stuff. Is there beef? And I'm like, what? Where? This is the internet. There is no beef. If I can't, if you're not in the proximity of me to where I could drive from anywhere from 1 to 3 hours to get to you, there is no beef. There is nothing. Only thing it is just hyperbole and just
Oh,
crazy.
your big word of the night there.
My big
Hyperbole. I like that. I
hyperbole
like that.
and just misinformation to where people out here just try to make it out to like there's beef and carnage and just all this other stuff. I don't have a problem with anybody. I know that there's a lot of people out there that talk bad about me, say certain things. They talk about me just before, just 10 minutes before I started GRG. I had somebody just sit here and talk about my weight, disrespect me, show pictures, and then make these assumptions. And I'm like, what the hell? Like I'm like, and you see this right here. This is why I responded, was because of this, because I looked at what that man said, and that is dangerous. You cannot use the reason why Sony is delaying the game and put it on, and you know what I'm saying, for the fourth, fifth time as as clickbait. It's garbage. It's not right. And so, you know what I'm saying? I made my point. I did my video. I responded. And of course, I take the higher road to everything. Everything. Even when they sit there and they slander my name, I still do it. Because I know that if I try to go left, the first thing they're going to do is say, look at K Mega being out of control. K Mega acting like this. K Mega acting like this. This is what's going on. And then they attack the members of GRG when GRG has nothing to do with it, when I say what I have to say. Every member of this podcast has every right to say what they want to say and feel how they want to feel, and without any repercussions. Any. How many podcasts do you guys know that can come out and say something without everybody else sounding like flunkies? Please let me know. Please let me know. Please let me know in the chat. Please let me know please let me know, people. If you listen to how people, they sound like cattle. If the person that's the host or the person that is the more aggressive or the more the person that has the more oomph, then everybody follows that person. I do not ever give anybody, that's who's been, if it was All Day, if it was Delilah, if it was fucking Infamous, if it was Fonzarelli, if it was Don or Xbot or anybody 100 or anybody on this podcast that's been a part of this show, I sit there and try to dictate what they got to say. I've never done it. Never will. I want people to say what they feel because that is exactly what a podcast should be. Is where everybody has a voice, everybody makes a point of view from their heart, not because of some kind of crazy standard that some people try to bring. I will never do that as long as I keep doing this shit. Ever. And when you listen to other podcasts, trust me, mostly everybody else sounds like flunkies. If you don't believe me, go listen to these other podcasts. I know you guys do. Oh, I agree with this. I agree with it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then when somebody do have a different set of opinions, then what do? They send their attack dogs after them. That's not a podcast. That's not a podcast. That is not what people are trying to do, and that was not something that I will ever try to do. I want. Hello. My last point before I go on back to somebody else on the panel. I've reached out to 35 PlayStation people to come onto the show. I've come at them cordial because I don't ever try to call names. I don't ever try to disrespect anybody because I know what I want to do is hear a different perspective. And every time, they're cool in the DMs. They're real cool. Oh, Mega Man, I appreciate that, man. I would love to be a part on it. Man, I'll hit you up in a couple of days. All right, cool. Those couple of days pass. I hit them back up and I'm saying, hey, man, what's going on? I don't hear anything back from them. But yet I still see these people on social media and videos. And then I get people sending me shit from when they say stuff bad about me, but then yet they talk good about me. Fonzarelli made a point about that earlier, matter of fact, yesterday, that there's people out here that's frauding the public. I will never fraud the public.
Fourth time? I want to say third. I don't really remember all specifically. I don't want to say anything out there, but probably the third time it's been delayed. The final delay is indefinite. So really, to be honest right now, because we're not sure how this is going to pan out, the epidemic and everything, we can push back until next year. Don't want to use this reason behind it because they got to keep the same energy. If this is holding up the release of this game, it might not get resolved this year. It will be pushed back until next year. That's even worse because they're going to miss quote unquote launch the PS5 at that point. So I don't know, man. It's like this feels like a lot of bullshit right now. There's a lot of bullshit because the game was, from what we've been telling, is nearly done. They're gonna put it on ice for who knows how long. Something's going on behind the scenes, man. This shit's looking spooky.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. Now, do you think that anything, because I always send that shit back, and y'all guys always look at the stuff that I usually post. I mean, was there anything that indicated that I was trying to use the pandemic as an excuse for what's going on with what's going on with Sony right now, or you know what I'm saying? Was I taking shots because of that?
Not necessarily, because the same thing happened with it was GDC, E3 as well. They skipped out GDC. As far as I can tell, they never really did anything to fill that void, unless they want to count that PS5 reveal that they did. If they want to count that as their, I guess, filling that hole, GDC, that was really just poor choice on their end at this point. So it seems real wonky that they want to use that as an excuse. Especially if they delayed it, given a date, wouldn't be as hard as it right now. This is indefinitely. It's looking really bizarre right now. But as far as you using as far as you like just calling out saying they're using this as an excuse, no, I don't really subscribe to that. I don't really subscribe to the hate you're getting for that. It's an interesting question to voice at this point. Because this is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the second or third time, maybe second, that the epidemic was used as an excuse for pushback or delay on something, or just outright cancellation.
Right.
Maybe a third, E3, GDC, and now this.
How can we
Microsoft-
say anything like that? And we took so much flack for Crackdown.
Bro,
How many? I mean,
I don't know.
come on. The game got pushed back. Suck it up. Somebody talked about it because it's information, but now K Mega got to be using it as some fuel of the fire.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is, man.
It's like they really pick and choose when it's okay for a game to be delayed.
No, you're not supposed to talk about things, K Mega. You know your rebuttal.
Hey,
you know what you're gonna get.
You know what? I do know, but you know what I'm saying. But I don't stop. That's the problem, and they can't stand it. They want people to be cattle, and I refuse to be cattle. There's PlayStation fans that listen to this podcast, and I hear from them all the time, and. The point of the matter is that they love they love for when we are objective, and they love the fact that you know what I'm saying that we're real about the situation. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. They may
Look
have.
what I read in the chat, son. Look what I read in the chat.
What's up? What's up?
It doesn't matter if it's being pushed back because there's nobody buying it in the stores. There's nobody to buy it in the stores.
Yeah.
Did we forget? Is that a serious excuse for not buying digital now?
That's the point that I was saying. Like I'm like, wait a minute. Like so, for instance, like see the one argument that was pushed back on me was, well, you're selfish, K Mega, because what about the people that buy only physical copies?
Listen, we're in 2020 right now. Gaming is essentially a luxury.
Even then.
But at this point, if you don't have access to a stable internet connection, I'll take these, bro. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Even if you only go physical, you still need the internet connection.
Exactly. If you buy physical and you're talking about, oh, well, I want to get the physical copy because I want to have the game in my hand. When you put that game in and it needs patches,
hold on. What's the magical 3 letters?
That game ain't going to work.
What's the magical 3 letters that Microsoft got assassinated with in 2013? Was it DRM?
But you know what's crazy? It's almost like they're afraid to put it in the digital store. Like somehow it's gonna, having everybody just try to.
Thank you, Jazzy Noob. Thank you, Agent Slugger. Man, appreciate you guys for the embers. Thank you. Go ahead, Live.
No, I was just saying, you would think that they're like terrified that, making the game only digital for like the first month or so would like shut down PSN or something.
Right.
The hell's the big deal?
There is no big deal. Listen, if the roles were reversed, I made a post not too long ago that got a lot of traction that kind of started this whole thing in the first place because I said if Xbox only came out with, and I know you guys seen it, if Xbox only came out talking about SSDs, didn't show the Series X console, didn't show any games, only showed a logo, how do you think that would play out?
Everybody would call Xbox dead.
Dead. And on top of this situation, let's just say that they brought up the situation and said that Halo was going to get Halo Infinite was going to be delayed indefinitely. How do you think that would play out with fans? And let's say that Xbox used the pandemic as their staple point. How do you please let me know, how do you think that this would play out?
Oh, if they use the pandemic as an excuse?
Yes.
What? Folks will come out the woodwork who don't even follow games. It would be all over Fox News, ironically.
Oh,
would be saying,
not Fox
News. Fox News goes when it comes to games. Okay, so you know what I'm saying there.
Yes.
I know
the generation would be lost before it got started.
They would start saying,
be real.
Yeah, Microsoft would be, they would be like, oh, Microsoft, they did this low thing. They would portray this crooked, shameless thing to do. Because quite frankly, it is freaking shameless to do, to put this on the pandemic. Like, let's play a game right now. Let's play how many PC games, console games, handhelds have been released in the past month in the middle of this pandemic, this pandemic, where people are dying left and right. Okay, Half-Life, Doom 64, Animal Crossing, Neo 2. I can go on. Okay,
Right.
Countless games. Among them, Persona 5 Royal, which is a re-release of the game with extra add-ons and blah blah blah. But that's the type of game usually the fans want the physical copy because there's a special edition with all types of statues and what have you. Listen, man, the original release of the game, I lent my niece my PS4 that I rarely play, and she ruined my controller. You know how everybody's early on we're talking about how the rubber on the controllers we get all flaked up. Okay, my other nephews were also at her house who lived in Atlanta, who came over the summer to visit her whenever I lent her the system. Stole my controller with theirs that already got ruined. To play the original game. So this is why I know this game in particular, because she's one of the fans who don't even own the console, but got the special edition with the statue, whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
And still, so those fans were dying for that game in particular, and still went out there, bought the game because I see lots of reviews, lots of discussion on what they changed in the game and all of that. This is why I'm up on the specifics of that game. But that just goes to show, in comparison to all the other ones where majority of the gamers would buy those games online, that this is one of those games that maybe a physical copy would have been something that the fans wanted. But in the situation that we have now, we can't have that. Countless games I didn't even list, like Ori, for example. I definitely got to shout out that game. Countless games that got released, sold millions of copies already, except for Half-Life Alyx. I heard there's like maybe 500,000 at this point now or something like that. But still, lots of copies being sold for all these games, and people are stuck home. So I don't want to hear nothing about The Last of Us at all. Because, like I said earlier, even if you had the disc, you're going to have to re-download like half the game any goddamn way.
Right.
So what once again, just think about that, gif of Jackie Chan, that meme, and he's holding his head like, what? I ain't got nothing else to say on the subject. It's just like, this is all just fucking stupid. Really.
I agree. Anybody else want to say? Because I had no idea what time it was. I thought we were still. Look, time flew. I had no idea.
Bless. Good night.
Yeah. We got to get the hell out of here. But anybody else want to touch on this before we get out of here? Anybody? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's why 100 wasn't saying shit. 100 bailed out. He's like, damn. I looked at the time. I'm like, 100 bounced out so quick. I looked and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
okay.
It's phone battery apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us as usual. You know what I'm saying? I wish that I kind of started this last part a little bit longer because I knew that this was going to be passionate, but then again, I wanted to kind of talk about the whole, talk about other stuff as well because we're gamers here. We like to talk about gaming, and even though the more popular shows they can dig and talk about other stuff and get loud and rowdy, I just rather just have talk about topics and just let the chat decide how it all works out and play out. But my last point on this whole situation is that look, for anybody out there, and I know for one particular person that hit me up and was asking me about beef and issues and shit like that, I have no issues with any YouTuber. I keep my distance from people because I've learned from being on YouTube, you can only trust so many people. Some people will come out and they'll come on the show, they'll be guests, they'll be this way, they'll be that way. And I'm not saying that, people that's been on GRG, but I'm just saying just in general, and then they have a different outlook. They'll talk bad about you. They'll assist on talking bad about you. And when I don't talk bad about anyone, I don't sit there and just come out and just and try to make my show about, or I should say our show, because it's not without the people that's on this panel. You know what I'm saying? Without them, GRG wouldn't exist, and without you listeners, it wouldn't exist. But the main thing about it is that you know what I'm saying, we have to do better. I said this a little bit last week about how we have to have a better, different outlook of how we do things. And so many people try so hard to want to dictate and want to make podcasts be a certain way. I'm not going to do that. And if that means that my channel on YouTube stay stagnant, or you know what I'm saying, or if that means that I don't grow on any other social media aspect, I don't give a fuck. What I care about is talking about gaming news and just talking about topics that maybe people might be talking about underneath, and they may and maybe some people might be too afraid to bring out because they might feel that they get attacked. And to me, I think that's wrong on either side of the spectrum. Gaming is a universal thing, and we all should be able to say and talk and express ourselves how we want to at the end of the day. So I'm done. But anyway, PK, thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you'll be on next week so we can go ahead and we can talk about games next week. Where can they find you at, brother?
At PKX Live on Twitter.
All right, cool. Op, where can they find you at, bro?
They can find me on Twitter, Operation Oppo. It's here every Friday and every Saturday for Smash Podcast at 8 p.m. Central.
Cool, nice. All right, Slick, thank you for coming in, representing. You know what I'm saying, holding it down for, you know what I'm saying, our boy Bloody, who had the.
It's sick. S-I-K.
He knows that. He knows that.
I know that, but I call him AKA. I call him Slick.
I won't say nothing again.
No. Yeah. I already told him that. I said because when I try to say Slick
I
Slayer,
kept saying, what the hell is K-Maker saying?
Well, because I know his name is Slick Slayer, but you know what I'm saying. Hold on, our country.
Slayer.
Yeah. No, AKA Slick. I'm calling my boy Slick. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Mind my business.
Mind your goddamn business. Let me be country. Anyway, hey, Slick, where everybody can find you at, man?
You can find me. Oh my God, killing me right now. Oh my God. One of these days I'm gonna have to explain where that name came from.
Yes.
Yes. One day you got to earn that. You gotta earn that one though. You gotta be able to, say my name clearly a couple of times in a row.
It ain't gonna fucking happen.
Well, then you probably never gonna find out.
That's what I'm saying. Slick, aka Slick. Anyway, go ahead. Where can I find you at?
You gonna find me on Twitter. You gonna find me on Xbox Live, Steam, PlayStation Network, Google Plus. Oh wait, that's gone. Sisters Ass, Express.
Amazon just said that they in the game next year.
You ain't gonna find me no USPS. Apparently, they're about to shut down if this don't end by June.
Oof.
But yeah, you know how to find me, and maybe I'll be back here next week.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I really want a nerd war between you and PK because I know PK is holding it in. And then when we get to the right topic, and then
I don't think it's gonna be a war. The dude.
No. I should say war, but when you and PK get into the terminology about certain things, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna put the mic up, and I'm gonna let y'all talk. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say, all y'all, shut the hell up. Let PK and Slick talk. That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
No doubt. We gonna learn you a couple things.
Yeah. Educate us. I appreciate it. Anyway, 108 Dragons, thank you for coming on. You sound a lot better, bro. I'm glad about that, man.
Y'all cheered me up, son. I ain't on, in the morning, once I take that dope pill, I'm done again. But right now, I'm feeling good. Y'all know people, 108 Dragons. Had to give out that free smoke tonight. You can always find me in Brooklyn Cemetery giving Chris Hart a brand new burial. But
this guy, man.
This dude feeling good tonight. He feeling good. Hey, next week you're gonna be back on COD talking shit. Let's go.
Yeah, I tried to sit up, couldn't do it today, but I tried, son. I couldn't even play 2K. But yeah, y'all can find me 108 Dragons TV and everything, man. And I enjoyed the show. I know I popped in and popped out, but
it's
I
all
had
right.
to switch
God
the
bless,
channel.
man. People can hear your voice, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate all the support. Over here on my deathbed, like one more podcast to go, and then I'll be at 100%.
Hey, man. Look, we right here, man. We right here with you. We're right here with you, man. I'm saying I've been praying hard, man. I know how bad it is out there in Brooklyn and shit. And
yeah, it's crazy, son. They got bodies in the street being dumped in refrigerated trucks. I thought it was a joke.
That. No, it ain't no joke.
One of my
I've been
boys
watching.
Worked for a congressman, and I'm his daughter's godfather. So what happened was he gave me a call, been checking on me. So somebody sent me a video of the hospital. This dude just fed 500 doctors and nurses. So I called my boy Church and said, yo, is that shit real outside of Brooklyn Hospital? The bodies? He said, oh yeah. I said, oh yeah, you saying it like it's another walk in the park. He said, son, they got tractors outside dumping COVID-19 bodies in refrigerated tractor trailers. That shit has hit Brooklyn.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
It's hard, bro. It's hard. It's going hard out there, man. And that's why I can't say
it's
like
bad.
in my state, these silly motherfuckers out here, man. They haven't put any type of shelter at home in just certain counties instead of doing just a state stay at home shelter. They've let this linger and they try to keep throwing out oh, we only got less than a thousand until the people that has been the experts that's been doing this stuff in my state of Oklahoma, they're saying already we're over 5,000 cases. It's just that people and the fact that people getting hit with that, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people don't have that insurance. A lot of people ain't being tested. And so what we're going through is that, so you know, I've been sitting my big ass at home. I've been sitting here losing money because I need to be sitting at the spot, you know what I'm saying, making my bread, but I've been like, yo, bro.
I'm losing money too,
yo,
son,
bro.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just thank God I got money in the bank. I paid all my bills this week.
You know what I'm saying?
With no check. Thank God.
Hey, big shout out to my wife and big shout out to making me, you know what I'm saying, having a little bread in my savings to where I can sit there and just throw it out because I am not.
It's real.
It's real, man. And you look, I mean, it's tough. And like for anybody out there, like I said before, if you're going through it, if you're alone, please, you know what I'm saying, hit up K Mega 405 and let's play a game together. If you know what I'm saying, if you ain't got your family with you and shit like that, hit me up, man. If you just want to talk, I'm with you. I'm here. I totally get it. I understand.
Yo, speaking of which, as soon as we wrap up this show, we about to go game. Unless folks have other plans, no doubt. Hey. I ain't mad at you. But
my old lady ain't here, so ain't no pants off dance off for me, so I'm ready to game.
Then. So I'm just saying, folks, listen, like I always say every time when they ask me, where they can find me, you can find me on Xbox Live, PlayStation. The same thing I always say every week. Yo, come find me there. Let's play. You want this smoke? I'll give you this smoke. If you want to... if you want to go out, you want to talk, whatever, man. I'm going to be up all night. Who else is down?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm here for the gamers, man. Even if you're on PlayStation, man, hit me up, man. Say, Mega, I'm on PlayStation. I'm saying, what games you got, what games I got. Let's link up, whatever. It's just what it is. Let's stream together, talk some shit, have some fun. You know what I'm saying? One last.
You too, Chris Hart. That means you too. You want to play?
Yeah, Chris Hart. Yeah, where you at? I don't see you in these gaming streets.
Out there in New York is bad out there.
All he got is a keyboard and Twitter.
Hey. I looked up his PlayStation profile. All the games he played, he has 0 to 5% progress on all.
You see, you're like the fourth person to do that to him.
Hey, don't do our boy Chris like that.
Come
on,
my boy 100 love pulling receipts,
he
baby.
Do 100. You better be like 100 in here.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
Hypnosis, man. Thank you. I'm going to read this last part, then we'll get out of here. He says, "Thanks for another great show. Best wishes to everyone over the next week. Hope everyone has a good one. Thank you. God bless everybody." You know what I'm saying? I know even if you're religious or not, God bless you. You know what I'm saying? As K Mega, or I should say, give my real name, Kareem. I really hope all you guys and ladies out there, you know what I'm saying, enjoy yourselves, make the best of this, and stay alive, man, and stay woke, man, because I know a lot of people try to come up with all these conspiracy theories with 5G towers and all types of crazy shit.
Shit don't even matter at this point.
It don't matter at this point.
Niggas are dying.
Stay safe. People are dying. Shit is real.
Word.
And I want to have as many gamers out there to play with as possible on you know what I'm saying, on PC, console, Nintendo,
I'm scared to go back to
PC,
work.
PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I keep my ass at home. I just lose a little bit of money if I could. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Because that's how I'm looking at it. Like I ain't trying to trip out. I'm like, fuck it. I'm losing me some money. Anyway, thank you guys so much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and you know what I would say is what I always say about the pants off, dance off, but you know what? Tonight, you know what I'm saying, let your old lady go to sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to do too much of that. We in strange times now. Everybody have a good one. God bless. Peace. Woo!
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. This was the GRG podcast.